Free Ben McLemore. All praises be to the Most High. Oh man, I couldn't even. Oh man, something wrong with me, man. Peace and Black Power, family. All praises be. Man, that's gotta be my intro. Man, Christmas couldn't come sooner enough. I was wondering, I'm like, Micca has been awfully quiet about this whole Anton Daniels Corey situation, side chick allegations. I was like, I'm like, where's she at? Where? She's been awfully quiet, but here we go. She here to set the record straight. She just makes things so much worse for herself. It's hilarious. Um, if I may, I'm gonna skip right to the part where the interviewer here. Shout out to his channel. His channel is called Talk Perspective. Whoever conducted this interview, oh my God, this dude he's amazing. he's this is what I'm talking about right here. Um, the first part of the interview I skipped because they're going to talk about politics, and he's going to ask her, what's your politics? Are you a conservative, Republican, blah blah blah? But then all leads up to him asking about Anton Daniels and what's your relationship like with him. So this is beautiful right here.
That took away a lot of freedoms, like the Patriot Act and other just ridiculous policies.
All right, so let's get into Anton Daniels. Here's my thinking. With your vast erudition or knowledge in politics, was that the connection or bond? Because as I understand, he's a conservative, and much of his rhetoric, if you will, is political.
Correct.
Is that fair to say?
That's fair.
That is fair. Was that the bond or the connection between you and Anton?
Absolutely. So I was a watcher of Anton's content way before,
Shout out to Reaper Rail in the chat.
I actually knew Anton. So that is one of the bases of my connection with Anton, and also the financial conservatism too, because Anton knows a lot about financial decisions.
Okay, and how would you describe your political relationship with him?
Political relationship, what do you mean?
Yeah, so is it primarily the relationship or the friendship you have is primarily about politics?
Well, no, the relationship that we have now is primarily business.
Or prior to, when you say now, there's an emphasis that maybe it was different prior to.
No, the only prior to is before I knew him.
Okay.
So before I knew him, of course, I'm a consumer at that point.
Yeah.
So I'm, looking at Anton, like I said, from the conservative politics and the fiscally conservative shows he used to have.
Yeah. And what was it that caught your attention to stay connected to the work that he does?
Before I knew him?
Yep.
Oh,
you said you was a consumer of his work.
Yeah. It would be like the Millionaire Morning Show.
When I saw the beginning of this interview, I knew she was in trouble. So there's always, even really in the beginning, I skipped the beginning. I watched the beginning, but it's basically it's relevant, but it's irrelevant. But if you watch the beginning of the interview, I knew she was in trouble. But especially this part right here, I was like, oh man, I don't think she because he's not even grilling her yet. He's just asking basic questions, and she's doing a little bit of tap dancing already. So that's how I knew. Because I watched the full interview. I skipped around some of it, but I watched most of the interview. Bruh. Y'all not ready for this, man. It's crazy.
That's actually what I did watch. I didn't know Anton's other shows until we started working together.
Sure.
But the Millionaire Morning Show, it has, like I said, it has different components of news, financial information, politics,
sure,
and a little bit of pop culture, which is my lane.
Yeah, and even with that being your lane, how did the lanes collide, if you will? Meaning that at some point, either you reach out, you email, you DM, you say, hey, this is great work you're doing. It's something that I'm interested in knowing more about. How was that establishment?
So Anton reached out to me.
Sure.
And he asked.
Well, let me ask you this, just for clarity for the public. When you say he reached out to you, so if you're a consumer of his work, how does he know to reach out to you?
He doesn't know to reach out to me.
So
it just happens that, I watch a lot of people online, but it just happened that he emailed me. I have my email up on my Instagram. I have it up on my
Yeah, but that's what
YouTube.
I'm asking. How did he know? How did he establish connection with you to know to email you?
Well,
like I said, already tap dancing. Pan the Man, shout out to Pan the Man. Pyro, what's up? He said, how did he manage to get her? So later on in the interview, I know I'm gonna do a little bit of a spoiler, but this is why I kind of skipped the beginning of the interview. the beginning of the interview has been established. They her and the interviewer right now, they used to work with each other. So he will used to be like an executive of a producing company that she was working. She used to work under the interview back in the day. That's how the connection is established. Um, so that's how he was able to get the interview with her. So that's why I should have, maybe I probably should have shown that beginning part, but it's basically irrelevant. But in the beginning, that's what they established. But yeah, here we go.
From what he told me, somebody sent him my work. And so he wanted to work with me, so he emailed me.
Okay, so someone sent him your information, and then he decided to reach out to you.
Somebody sent him my contact, and he decided to look me up. He got my email, sent me an email.
And if you can be transparent, what did he say in the email, or what did he say that established your interest to move to the next step?
Well, when I got the email, I already knew who Anton Daniels was because I'm watching Anton Daniels.
Yeah.
So he asked if I would be interested in doing an interview. I said sure.
Okay. And the interview just about, does he normally invite guests to come on?
All the time.
Oh, he does? Okay.
Anton has like one-on-ones with pretty much anybody. If his audience finds somebody intriguing, which is how he found me in the first place, then he'll bring them on, or if he finds them intriguing.
Yeah. And then you establish this sort of cordial friendship, if you will. It's a friendship at that point because you weren't working.
No. So once I did after I did the interview did really, really well.
Okay. And what was the interview about?
Everything. Anton asked me stuff from relationships, like my thoughts on relationships, because Anton does relationship panels and all these things. So from relationships to politics to whatever he can come up with.
So it wasn't really a targeted subject, if you will.
Nope.
It was just, I want to have you on and I want to interview you about whatever comes to mind, or whatever he is interested in talking about.
Correct.
Some people would say that's a cake bake. Do you feel it was?
What's a cake bake?
A cake bake is when I have a sort of a hidden agenda, if you will, for reaching out to a specific person, sort of making you believe that it's one thing and it could be something else. I may have insidious characteristics. And then once I'm able to lure you in, if you will, I sort of cake bake that situation, meaning that now I have your attention and I have you a part of my space, if you will.
Well, I've never heard of that, but I mean,
that's why
there could be people that can, but I can tell you right now, Anton was always like straight on for it, professional. Like there was really
no. I'm not questioning his character.
I'm just saying like there's nothing really that would fit into what you were, what you're describing. Yeah.
So
a cake bake.
You, based on my definition of cake bake, inviting you to come onto the show to have a conversation about no particular topic, or at least a topic that he would serve as a prowess, did not feel like a cake bake.
No, because, and let's be clear, especially in the independent podcasting space, some podcasters are, particular, you and I would be amongst the top, because a lot of them don't really have an actual angle. They get around, they talk, they do this, that, and the third. So it's not uncommon that somebody might say, oh, I like what you said there. Hey, you want to come on? And it might not be anything in my field or lane, but that doesn't stop them from reaching out.
And where's the show taped?
So he tapes in Detroit.
So he's in Detroit. So you had to fly out to Detroit?
Correct.
Did he or the show pay for you to come out?
Correct.
And did they pay for your room and board as well?
Correct.
So you stayed in a hotel. Actually, let me pose that as a question. Did you stay in a hotel?
Correct.
You did stay in a hotel. And you stayed alone in a hotel?
Correct.
Okay, just because these are questions that have come in, so I just want to bring some clarity. At what point do you believe the public and other people started paying attention to your friendship?
I think probably when I started to actually be a regular.
Okay, so give us that timeline from when he flew you out, you participated as a guest, you're done with the show, you fly back home.
By the way, I know I kind of skipped over it, but it was interesting how earlier he describes like, wait, how did they reach out to you? And oh yeah, the public, the the fans found me intriguing. No, you came on the panel, and you already know how the male simps were. Man, she bad as hell, Anton. You gotta interview her, man. She says everything that you like, and she's fine as hell, man. That's why she was able to get access, and that's why people found you intriguing. So, I already watched the interview, so I hope people don't think I skipped over that. But it's funny language that they use to me. Yeah, cake bake. I found that funny too. Cake bake. I think that went over her head, to be quite honest with you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, if the audience finds you intriguing, oh yeah, the audience they thought you was fine. You popped up on a panel. Anton's like, all right, I'm gonna see what that's I'm gonna see what that's about. That's why, like, the stuff that the interview, the stuff that he's just putting out there, the questions, there's no doubt in my mind that she was the side chick, or they must have smashed. And if Anton didn't, that means he's the dumbest person on earth. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that. So this interview really confirmed to me everything that I thought. Pyro says, "Come on, Chris. They they find her. She's right. That's what she said. Exactly. So she didn't probably have to do too much of the reaching out. the fans did the booking for the fans basically did the booking for her. You know, because these dudes, they'll find your information. You need to talk about this female content creator. Do you know how many people be flying, like they put certain names to me, and I'm like, I already know this one. She's just no. And what's interesting to me, you know, I don't understand why. Like, they never, for some reason, when it comes to female content creators that make similar content, they never ever recommended Daphne, you know, the alleged queen of accountability. That's her title, the queen of accountability. A little bit cringe, but I like her work because she actually has the police on speed dial and she be calling the police on hoes. I respect that. I like that. I there's something that brings a smile to me. And she's married, right? And she doesn't do like content, you know, personal content with other men, right? Nobody, for some reason, they don't really recommend. They rarely I've never got recommendations to watch The Crimson Cure, even though she has her that concept where she calls BW's hyenas is brilliant. It's actually a brilliant like it's the perfect animal to use, right? So for some reason these ladies don't get brought up, but they bring up other hoes where like Courtney Ryan and who else people be talking. All these other people, you're just like, nah, y'all just want to smash.
At what point from that?
Also, there's like there's an older white lady that's like a former divorce lawyer or something. She put out a lot of great content, but I forgot what her name is. But nobody ever recommends those people. But anyways,
last time up until you became a regular, were you in communication with him?
So,
like months?
So after I did the first interview,
sure,
probably maybe a couple of weeks after the interview aired and Anton could actually see how it was doing, I got a really good response from his audience. And so his audience decided, to people that don't know Anton, Anton is a big advocate of what his viewers and his watchers think, his chat, all of that. He calls them his co-host. A chat is like Anton is
advocate of, you were saying,
of listening to what they like.
I see. Okay.
So if they like this or that, he will pay attention to it, and he'll try to implement that in the show. So Anton watched how everybody pretty much loved the interview. They either like this part about it. Oh, I think
they liked her. Exactly. Courtney Michelle. I forgot about Courtney Michelle. I'm pretty sure she left. Yeah, Sadia Khan. And like I said, no disrespect to Six the Goddess in Danica. I'm not trying to cast any aspersions like Stephen A. Smith would say, but guys, come on. You know what I mean? We gotta start being real, because people be recommending hoes that they find pretty and who they want to smash. Like I bring up Daphne, and I don't know why people don't give her credit. I know her title is cringe, but she actually she be going in Facebook chats, putting these hoes on blast, doing research on them, calling the police on women that falsely accuse men. She was the reason why, she was one of, if not the reason why, the brick lady got held accountable to her being a fraud. Everybody else, they just want to talk about it, but she actually put in work to make sure the brick lady got put away after the chaos that she caused. I gotta respect that. Most people, they just gonna talk about it. She actually put in work. But at the end of the day, Daphne's she's like a regular chick. She's already married. She doesn't even try to. She don't like. I be looking at some of her tweets. She don't even be trying to flirt. She's solid. She seems solid. I'll say. You know what I mean? It looks like her platform is dedicated to helping men that are in a pickle, right? And I can respect the work because she actually has the police on speed dial. Cope approach said Daphne is go to. So yeah, you already know about her.
We think she's smart. We like this. She's pretty. Blah blah blah. Whatever. And so
people actually said you were pretty because you are.
Yes.
You're beautiful.
Thank
But
you.
but we used to work together, woman,
Yes,
so I know this
yes.
stuff. But I just want to make sure that I'm really captivating the responses that the public wants. So people were saying, based on what he shared with you, that people said you were beautiful, you were smart.
Well, no, it's not based on what he was sharing with me. It's based on what's still.
Oh yeah, just Pearly. I don't trust her at all. I already forgot about her. Like I ever since I saw her, even before I knew about what she did when she was like in high school, college, when she basically put a Me Too case on her coach, on her former coach. Even before that, I was like, and then I saw that, I was like, nope, sorry, can't do it.
On the page.
I see.
Yeah. So you can see that in the comment section. And of course, when it aired, you can see it in the chat.
Sure.
So you see all of these different things and you're like, okay, well, if this is something that people are interested in, then I should explore more.
By the way, that dog is not me. That's whoever house this interview was being held at.
On it.
Okay.
And so Anton decided that he was going to revamp one of his channels that he canceled, called Fight Club or something like that. And he decided to make it like a nightly talk show.
Okay.
And when I guess he went on one of his live streams and as the bad chasers as they're called, what they thought, and a lot of them bring Micca. And so
you were heavily requested, your appearance.
Yes. And you can, and I tell people this all the time, with Anton, 99% of the things that he does is on camera.
Yeah.
So you can go back and just look at comments.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just
she thought the fans was messing with her because of her intellect. Oh Lord. Oh, it's a lot. It's some people that covered it. It's a lot of people covered it. Oh yeah, Hammerhand covered it. But specific man, she had because she had the video where she told the story, but she deleted it off her channel. She deleted the story off her channel for a reason. Because she knew that story was BS. I don't think I ever did it. I don't think I ever did a reaction to that video because it got deleted. But Underground Uncut, he has the video, and he did a reaction to it. That's what I was supposed to do, but I never end up getting to it. He said I can't remember the story, but she was making up a whole fiction out. Like even just the whole naivety thing that she's trying to, play. Oh, I had no idea what happened. The coach called me to a bar, even though she was like, by that time, she was already a year in college. My former high school coach called me into a bar. He was the only person that said I would be pretty when I was growing up, and all this BS. Or even like in the beginning of the story where she was talking about like she was at the house party and no dude approached. I was like, man, the lies. I was like, please stop. You could be in a whole wheelchair. You gonna get approached if you at a house party. Stop. They're just lying. No man was no boy was attracted to me in high school. He told me though everything would work out when I was growing up. He called me into a bar when I was over 18, and then I took my fake ID to bruh. What? I was like, please. And I'm like, this is y'all fucking with her? I was like, shit. But and I remember there was at one point, like Pearly had like a really large black male fan base, which I never understood. Especially knowing that story. I used to be like, are y'all? I'm like, y'all know the story about what she did to her coach? I was like, shit. Not like as a black man, I no. If I know, especially me as a black man, if I know as you as a white woman, you try to use that privilege and you try to put, you know, something on me where you making it seem like I try to do something to you, and that's not the case, I can never trust you in life because she knows the ramifications for that. Like she knows. So, bruh. Oh yeah. And by the way, can you guys, before I even get into this, before I can even get into this, did you see the nonsense that has been happening a couple of days with what people are saying about Michael Jordan? Are you guys witnessing this? You see why I stuck up for Corey as hard as I did? Now, they took a clip of Jordan like tugging on a dude's a little boy's shirt, and they were saying he was a PDF file. I was like, guys, what the hell is wrong with y'all? I'm like, is this what we're this what we turning into? I was supposed to address this I swore to myself I was gonna address this on a different stream, but this has to be said. This stuff is getting way out of hand, where people are just labeling people pedophiles, or you're labeling people, oh, he's a essayer, or he did this. Nah, this is the reason why I speak out like this, because this has gone way too far. People want to act like it's crazy now, especially with the Epstein files and all this stuff. But let's keep it a buck. Particularly when it comes to millennials and Gen X, you guys do not care about kids. And clearly you guys are trying to make up for it because because they can't really do anybody to the real people in power. But now we're gonna use a scapegoat. We're gonna take a video of Michael Jordan tugging on a boy's shirt because I don't know, somebody poured ice or water on the little boy's shirt, and he's tugging at it, and then people say, oh, he's pinching the boy's butt, and all he did was pull on the boy's shirt and like and he touched the back of his leg or whatever. And he has, and mind you, he's had commercials. I think he's had a commercial. I would have sworn I saw him do that in a commercial. And I'm seeing people, I'm waking up, and this is a thing. I was like, are y'all kidding me? We're gonna say Michael Jordan's a PDF now. But really, the reality is the real PDF files, they really can't do anything about it. The actual people in charge that are they're eating kids and stuff like that. They can't do nothing about it. So we need a scapegoat. So anybody that's doing something suspect, or if Corey Holcomb says a joke, we're gonna call him a PDF and we're gonna try to cancel these people. Mind you, I told you what was going to happen with the Epstein files. They're going to try to find some black people to blame it on. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to do anything to the real people that's actually doing this stuff. I told you what was going to happen. I said, first of all, they're probably going to just pin it all on Jay-Z and just call it a day. That's what they're going to do, because this is the usual tactics. You blame it on the lowest common denominator, the lowest hanging fruit. This is what the powers that may be may do. And then now I'm talking about all black people in these comment sections. Michael Jordan, we saw that video, but you got an entry for that. Guys, I don't even give a fuck about the Corey Holcomb stuff, because I know people are gonna hate him anyways. But guys, you can't, these people went to bed saying Michael Jordan could do no wrong, and then you wake up, all of a sudden he's a pedophile. What? People are so easily manipulated. I was like, wow. I'm talking about before that video, you couldn't say Michael Jordan could do no wrong. Michael Jordan could do no wrong before that video. If I had anything to say about MJ, all I had to say was, oh, I never bought Jordans before in my life. And I'm talking about ninjas used to literally want to fight me for this. And now all of a sudden he's a PDF file because of a clip taken out of context again. What the man, boy? People are funny, boy. Man, man. Yeah, exactly. Reaper Rail says, come to find out he was just breaking up the ice in the ice bag. First of all, the kid's shirt, he was wet with something. So it just looked like from my point of view, he was pulling his shirt out. But when I first saw the video, I'm like, why is he pulling his shirt? Maybe I don't know. Is he trying to dry his shirt, or is he just pulling? Is he just like making bullying him? You know how like when you got like as an older grandparent, they poking at you and shit like that, right? That's what I thought it was. But people really took. I was like, wow. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Oh man. Yeah, they're cutting up sneakers. I was like, these people, they went to bed. Sorry, in the morning, they woke up. Michael Jordan could do no wrong. If Michael Jordan passed gas, they will say it was perfume. And then that same day, he's a pedophile. What? Nah, nope. Oh my goodness. Exactly. They all up on MJ, but their actual people got redacted on the Epstein file. Like their bosses, their bosses, these people that are reported, but their bosses is literally in the redacted, files. Reaper Rail says, and yet it's a person they like who actually does PDF-ish, like Roman. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say his name. And all these Hollywood stars who stuck up for him, Shopping Goldberg and many, others. That's a whole other story. Yeah, they all up on MJ, but got ends on the redacted but got ends on the redacted Epstein files. Reaper Rail says it was an ice pad the kid had, and the ice cubes needed to be broken up. That's all MJ did. Like, but his shirt clearly he was wet with something happened to his shirt. Yeah. XVYJZ says they got more smoke for MJ than NAMBLA, which is an actual organization, but they won't do ish. He said they'll pin it on Chris Tucker. He said they'll blame it on black men, and stupid effing hyenas will believe it. Yeah, I'm like, bro. And like I said, these were the same people. I was like, I was telling people with the Corey Holcomb situation, I'm like, guys, you can't just be calling people PDF files. What's wrong with y'all? Oh, you don't know what you do. You're not protecting the children. You believe everything goes, and then these are now they saying MJ's. I was like, y'all gotta be the dumbest Negroes in captivity. Crazy, absolutely ridiculous. And I'll say the shout out to Kwame Brown again. He didn't buy it. Like I said, shout out to Kwame Brown. He stuck up for Corey, and then I saw him. He stuck up for MJ. I saw him, even Michael Jackson. Yeah, I saw this. So shout out to SOV724 with the $5 super chat. I saw that as well. They're doing weird shit with MJ's bio. Oh man, let me read the whole thing out loud, but let me hit him with the soundbite real quick.
Donations. Gifts. More gifts.
Shout out to him with the $5 super chat. He says Michael Jackson has always been innocent. They've been trying to F with his biopic coming up. I've been seeing this. I've been peeping it. And it comes to find out MJ actually was peeping all the nonsense these people in charge were doing. And he was actually trying to protect the kids. So what a evil way to flip it on him, to make him a PDF file. So much so you have Family Guy jokes, right? You have people making fun of it, how he likes kids and all this. You see how the people in charge can flip it and make, I told you, you don't have to do anything. If you piss off the wrong person or the wrong connected person, they will turn you into whatever they need you to be. And it's always the same thing, particularly with black men. What they do with black men, usually with black men, they don't usually put the PDF file thing on black men. They usually do that with white dudes. What they do with black men is what do they do? They always say they say he had a grape charge. That's what they do with black men. With white dudes, they try to say he's into child porn. They plant child porn on their PC. And then with a Hispanic dude or any immigrant, they try to get him. They say he didn't have his proper papers. They try to get him immigrant. I don't understand why people don't see this. It's so, the game is so obvious. This is what they do. If you're an immigrant and you start speaking out against the powers that may be, they get you immigrated. They get you deported. They get you deported. That's what happened. Yeah, 21 Savage. Or if you're a Mexican, whatever, if you're Hispanic, they're gonna try to get you deported. That's what they, it's the you didn't have your papers. This is what they do. XVYJZ says it shows that the elites have these bots right where they want them. I saw how the majority of people acted during the beer bug, bullying me to wear a mask and get vaxxed. I that kind of is what swayed me, in my opinion, where like I can't trust the public at all. Like if most of the public is agreeing with something, I'm like, whoa, hold on. Let me step back before I agree with this, because that whole nonsense with the mask, the poke, just for them to like years later and say the exact same thing that people were getting deleted over. No. XVYJZ says, speaking of Dr. Umar, did you see that Umar has finally completed his school? I don't know. I didn't get any news about that, but we shall see. We shall see about that.
Curious, does he also recruit males?
Yes.
So right now the team is made up, if you will. So let me make sure I understand this. The show, which are you hired by him currently on a show?
Well, it's called Room 9 now, but at the time it's called After Hours. Mm-hmm.
So it's called Room 9.
Mm-hmm.
It was called After Hours. And how many regular guests or co-hosts rather are on there?
I want to say 5 or 6 now. So when it started, it was just me and Quentin.
Okay.
A gentleman named Quentin.
Sure.
And then it grew.
Okay. And now it's made up of male-female ratio,
Mm-hmm,
which
correct.
is, what's the male-female ratio?
So 1, 2, 3, so maybe 4 females, 3 males.
4 females. Okay. Yeah. Are you a paid employee?
Correct. Well,
Yeah.
I'm contracted.
Contracted.
Correct.
Yeah. And do you have to fly out every time?
No, most of it is virtually. Only when we're actually like doing something, some like a bunch of content where we have to go there.
Yeah. What sealed the deal for you in working with Anton, or at least felt comfortable to say, I want to stay on as a contractor and I really like what he has? What sealed that deal? So you become a guest and then you go back home and then you decided to accept the offer, if you will. But what sealed it for you?
What sealed it is I had already started in my podcasting process, and
I'm looking at the chat right now. LS is here saying, Chris Mike, there's a video of Whoopi Goldberg defending either Woody Allen or Roman Polanski during the early days of The View, saying, was it grape or was it grape? You know, when it comes to the people with actual power, they tend to rethink things. Even with the what's the person that the woman, the KRS looking chick that started the whole Me Too nonsense. It's interesting when they finally confronted her. Like they were like, "Yo, so Joe Biden, AKA Sleepy Joe, has his allegations. What do you have to say about Sleepy Joe's allegations?" And then she's like, "Well, we need to look at the evidence, and before we say anybody's guilty." I was like, "Oh, come on! You see, this is useless people, useless." Shouldn't he, like? I'm not gonna. I'll say I'm not gonna say she's. I'm gonna leave my comments alone with her, because it's clear that with her, she was just there to set an agenda, and her movement basically ruined everything. XVYJZ says, I'm loving Chris's pro-black side. He said, it's like CJ. It doesn't come out often, but I enjoy it. That's the comment I was laughing at. But anyways.
While I was there, I just in that small day and a half window, I got to see Anton's work ethic. Sure. And I got to see what goes on behind the scenes in podcasting and what actually, how I can actually get to these numbers and, just things that a lot of people charge for.
Yep.
a lot of people sometimes, especially in Black and brown communities, don't want to tell, like it's some type of secret or somebody's gonna steal their job. And so I was able, to benefit from being able to see this firsthand. And that was something. And he was very open about showing me this or that and third, because it wasn't a sense of, oh, this is a threat if I tell you this, or you're going to tell other people and I'm not going to be able to make money.
Sure. So right now, your role as a co-host is virtual.
Correct.
How often do you fly, or what would be the need to fly to Detroit?
Only if we're doing other content. So like we did content one time for a couple times, but in the beginning, the first time was for my channel.
Sure. So
I needed to do a one-on-one interview. So I got to do that plus our after hours.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Does Anton have you on an NDA? I've read that somewhere. A non-disclosure agreement for people who don't know.
Yeah, they always said it because some people pay attention.
Yes or no? Does Anton have you on the NDA? Jesus Christ. Oh, where's my sound? Where's my sound bite, man?
Oh, good Lord have mercy. Huh? Hallowed be thy name.
Just answer yes or no. Good Lord.
But does he have you on one?
No, I'm not on NDA.
So you're not on NDA.
No, I'm not on NDA. But
do you guys believe her? I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
He does give out NDAs to a lot of people, if not
staff. You mean staff?
Anybody that he works with. So they don't have to be staff. If he just maybe interviewed you or whatever.
But were you ever on an NDA?
No.
So what's the exception? Why are you an exception?
Yeah, so you know that everybody else is on an NDA, but you're not. So how come you're the only one that's not on the NDA? Great question. Great question, sir. But that she kind of walked herself into that. Like a lot of these questions, she's setting herself up. A lot of these, oh my goodness, man. But anyway.
I don't think I'm an exception because I don't ask, who's on an NDA. So I don't know.
But you know that other people
I have seen him, put people on NDA. But as far as staff go, I don't ask. It's almost like at your job, you don't go, well, what's your salary? What's your salary?
Oh no, they do.
Well, you're not supposed to.
They wouldn't ask me.
In HR, you're not supposed to.
Absolutely.
People do this all the time. So that was a pretty weak defense. But anyways.
But at the end of the day, I've never inquired to the other hosts if they have it or not, because I really don't care.
Now, are you paid per episode?
No, I'm paid per month.
Per month?
Yeah, like YouTube.
Wow. How much does he pay you?
It depends.
The range.
It depends because we bring in a lot of super chats, which is extra money that the audience gives.
And that's the way he makes the money for the show?
No. Okay. YouTube has AdSense and he has sponsorships, things like that. So all of that is factored in, plus anything that the audience gives as well.
Sure. So how much does he pay? We were just talking about that range. Unless you want to specifically say how much. I'm
not going to give a specific
because that's the NDA characteristic.
No, that's my.
What I was about to say, since you say you wasn't on the NDA, so why can't you give an estimate or just put a range? That's it. But when you have an NDA, you're not allowed to talk about that. So it's not necessarily the characteristics of an NDA. These are the characteristics of a side chick a married side chick trying to protect her sponsor and future sponsors that may be watching. But anyways,
that's
you want to protect him?
That's my business. That's my business mind sense, because there are other people on that show. I do not know how much.
So then let's give a range. Because the range doesn't pinpoint the range.
That's why I said I can do the range. You asked me to pinpoint.
Sure. What's the range?
So I can do a range of anywhere between 2 to maybe 35.
To what? I don't know. You said $2 to
35.
2,000
to 35
to 3,500 a month.
Correct.
Okay.
She was about. Anyways, SOV says Mecca bad though. She was right to drop Anton lame ass. He's baggage at this point. Well, at the end of the day, Micca only hangs out with plugged Republicans. So the situation kind of blew up in her face because Corey Holcomb kind of put the situation on blast when Anton had walked out. And I believe that caused some turmoil in the Anton Daniels family. So they kind of had to split ways for a little bit. That's my opinion. All that stuff about, Corey Holcomb affected my daughter's mental health. No, I think your daughter found out, or your peoples found out, that there might be a situation with you going on with you and Micca. That's my opinion, though. That's just my opinion. She's channeling her inner Fannie Willis Pam Bondi. Yo, there's no. I was just saying this to somebody the other day, one of my boys, where we were talking about there's really no difference between Fannie Willis, I call her Fannie Willis, and the stuff Pam Bondi is doing. Not even much difference between Pam Bondi and the Haitian girl that used to do her job for Sleepy Joe. No, there's no difference, bruh. Oh man, but anyways, man. But yeah, with Micca, I don't know how I would rate her. I think, you know, when it comes to, let me see if I can get another standstill of Micca. Let me see, 3603. I'll let it play for a little bit.
Okay, for your
I'm only on that show. So there are some people that are on 5.
Like, I'm not saying she's not pretty, but because Micca, from what I've seen, she's literally like 5 feet tall. She's like 5'2". So I don't know if I would have her, like, I would definitely, like, I would smash, but I would not think about in terms of I'm not thinking long term when it comes to Micca. That's a side piece. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't, like, me personally, to mess with a married side piece or a taken side piece, meaning she's already in a relationship but she's like a side piece to you. That's risky. That's just risky, because there's a lot of men out here, like, you got men out here, they'll get with a chick like this, right? Or they'll get with a Naomi Sharon, right? Let me see if I can bring up Naomi Sharon, the artist. So they'll get with a chick like a Naomi Sharon, right? And she will have like the pics that Naomi Sharon had. Let me see if I can look up her Instagram, if that's possible, because I did a whole episode on her like 2 or 3 years ago, where I had to like really educate the public. I'm like, dudes, if you guys are dating a musician or an artist or a self-proclaimed artist, you better understand what comes with that territory. Like, when she was taken, she actually had more risque photos than this when she was engaged. And I was like, bro, this is not your girl. Let me see if I can find the old pics, because even as risque as these photos are, she actually had more riskier photos when she was engaged back then. And people might think you know, just talking ish, but I'm just saying, I work with artists like this all the time. You're taking a risk. I want to see if I can find those old 2020 photos. I'm trying to let me see. I think I might have to zoom out. I might have to zoom out, because the photos that she was putting out there was wild work back in the day. Like, it was like real wild work she was posting. But dudes will date chicks like this and be like, oh, this is my girl. I'm like, bro, no. Like, yeah, these are photos like this. And this is when she was taken. And for some reason, you're like, oh my God, Drake wants to fly out my girl. Oh, it's still going to be business because he's inviting me as well. No, guys, no. But dudes will date chicks like this and think that's their girl. You know, that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, it's impossible. Like, I remember when I did the episode, that photo that I just showed you, I showed it on my episode, and I was like, guys, if you have a girl that's posting stuff like that, that's not your girl. Like, you just enjoy her for what you need to enjoy her for, but in terms of long term, you can't be disappointed in her. You need to be disappointed in yourself. Yeah, exactly. Simps are dangerous. Like, Micca's husband, I would classify him as definitely as a dangerous simp. You know what I mean? But anywho.
5 days a week. There are some people that are on 1 day a week. And for me, I'm only on Thursdays and Fridays.
Okay. So
Yeah, she's on Thursdays and Fridays, and she was getting paid how much a week? Let me see if I can rewind that. She was getting paid like something. What she said?
Unless you want to specifically say how much.
I'm not going to give a specific
because that's the NBA characteristic.
No, that's my sense, because there are other people on that show. I do not know how much.
So then let's give a range, because the range doesn't pinpoint the range.
That's why I said I can do the range.
Yeah, sure.
You asked me to pinpoint.
Sure. What's the range?
So I can do a range of anywhere between 2 to maybe 35.
To what? I don't.
So 3,500, and she does only Thursdays and Fridays every week. That's some interesting numbers, but anyways.
No, you said $2
to 35.
2,000
to 35
to 3,500 a month.
Correct.
Okay, for your run.
I'm only on that show. So there are some people that are on 5 days a week. There are some people that are on 1 day a week. And for me,
and she's still getting paid more than those people. Okay, that's interesting.
I'm only on Thursdays and Fridays.
Okay. So Thursdays and Fridays, you make a good amount of money just for Thursdays and Fridays?
Correct.
Yeah. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of what's been out there. Mm-hmm. So I understand that Anton is married. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you're married?
Correct.
Correct. Have you met Anton's wife?
Yes.
How would you describe her?
She's when I say probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life, that lady is probably one of the nicest people I've ever met. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And has Anton...
That's usually when they ask the side chick to describe the the man's wife, that's usually they say the exact same thing. Oh my God, she's probably the nicest human being I've ever met. Yeah, that should have right there. That answer should tell most real ninjas. You already know what's going on when she's giving an answer like that.
Met your husband
in person? Absolutely not.
He has not met him in person. Has he met him over the phone or in DM? What other form of introduction when you say not in person?
Because a lot of people.
So it's interesting. She's met Anton's wife, but Anton has never met her husband. Interesting.
Assume that when you have to see people, it has to be in person, or that if you don't meet them in person, then it's
excuses
something or whatever. So
I'm saying, what's the form of communication? That he met.
They don't have a form of communication where they talk back and forth.
Yeah. So, but you said he did not meet your husband in person.
No.
Is that to imply that he met him virtually?
No.
So he's never met your husband.
No.
And why is that?
Just say no. So why did she just say that in the first place? But that's what I assume. As soon as she started talking about, sometimes people assume that because you have a spouse, you gotta. No, you met Anton's wife. He never met your husband. I find that a bit suspicious.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
No particular reason. Sure. Just I've never had to actually do anything where my husband was there, and so if he's there, if my like when we work together, is here, so my husband's come here. But
when we first met and worked together,
we were in person as well.
Your husband came.
Yeah, we were here. We were here in the DC area. Yes, my husband came. Yes. So again, if he was here, then yes. But most of my business dealings, and if not all, I usually have a manager or somebody else deal with that. So that's the reason why I it's.
So of course, yeah. So SOV says I still think she creeping low key. Of course, and not necessarily with just Anton. Anybody with clout, anybody can get it. A lot of people moving around. Naomi, Sharon, Janae Aiko, really Janae Aiko, she really set that trend in my opinion. Where basically people didn't even know that she was married, but at the time she was married to a producer in the industry, but she basically used him so she can get around the clouded up dudes that she wanted to be around in the first place. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of hoes. A lot of women, they kind of run around like that, or basically they'll hide. You see it with most of these e-girls, right? They hide their husband or they hide their boyfriend so they can get more subscribers, right? Single on camera, but taken off camera. But basically that just means they're still single.
It's not a thing. But I talked to my husband about it.
How long have you and Anton been business partners or friends?
We're business partners, and
so you're not a friend because I don't want to provide language that's inaccurate.
that's why I changed it.
Yeah.
We're business partners, absolutely.
You're not friends.
No,
Okay.
friends would imply that we hang outside of business.
Not necessarily. Well, yes, correct.
Yeah, like
outside of business.
Yeah,
correct.
like not we were, me and you were shooting here, and then we just get something to eat afterwards, but we were doing business.
Yes.
I'm saying, hey,
this is strictly business. Yeah, right. Anyways, shout out to Pan the Man. He says, remember when Jordan Peterson's daughter, Michaela, was asked about Andrew Tate and she rambled on only to say it's complicated. This is that right now. Exactly. I completely forgot about that situation too. Now, nobody's buying that. We already know you flew out while her dad was dying, mind you, to get crushed by Bottom G to hang in his castle. This is crazy work. SOV says Western women stay lying about who they deal with, never assume a single woman is single, and never think a married woman won't go. That's how it goes in the West. Facts. Ellis says, I called a local talk radio station and told them Pam Bondi was channeling her inner Fonnie Willis. They got mad as F. They started talking about the cases, which are different. They're the same people. They're the same people. I told you the only difference is when it comes to particularly if you're brown skin or if you're black, you're gonna get in trouble for it. But if you are Caucasian, you're probably not going to get in trouble with what you're doing in terms of the law, but you're still doing the same thing. So this is why you can never assume. You can't go off of you just can't go off of looks or what it looks like. They're both doing the same thing. XVYJZ says, has anyone seen Anton's wife? Not a whole, but like I said, Micca has she's met Anton's wife personally, right? But it's interesting, Anton didn't meet her husband, and I'm pretty sure it's not just with Anton. I'm pretty sure all the other influencers, all the other male conservatives, particularly the black male conservatives, she doesn't let them know about her husband. This is what these female influencers do. They prance around like they're single, but they're not. They're not. They basically get to live the best of both worlds. Hannah Montana style, literally in real life. He says, when I was talking about their decorum, obviously. Oh yeah, of course. It's just people don't want to make that they don't want to make that connection. But anywho.
Are you up? Are you available today? Or you want to go out to the blah blah blah?
Yeah.
No.
But do you believe it was important at some point for you to introduce your husband to Anton?
Yeah. Because
I'm sure his wife thought it was important to meet you.
So I can't speak on what his wife thought.
Correct.
But the one time that I would have is when we had an event here, but he had to work. So I mean,
but have you made a concerted effort to make
cap it? That's cap. That's cap. Oh my God.
It happened. We do what we want to do, when we want to do it, for whom we want to do it for. And if something is really important to you and your family, either on your end as a wife, you absolutely make a concerted effort for this man, or Anton as a man says, I want to meet your husband just because you're married, and I don't want any messaging or anything else to be misconstrued by him or the public. So it's fair that I introduce myself. Has that conversation happened?
No, that conversation has not happened. And I understand what you're saying. My thing, again, my business dealings is normally with me, my manager, things like that. But it's not without my husband knowing. So everything that I do, every place that I go, everything that I'm going to be doing, my husband knows. And I have to actually talk about it with him, tell him what I'm doing, things like that.
How did you reassure your husband this was strictly business? Like if my wife is flying to another state,
because at
some point I'm going, or I need to meet this person in person. And it doesn't matter to me if he's single or married. It doesn't matter to me if he feels that he wants to meet me. I want my wife to be very committed and loyal to the idea of her business engagements I should be comfortable with as a husband. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I understand what you're saying. But my thing is, I think a lot of people sometimes misconstrue is this. You guys separate for some reason, independent from like big conglomerates, right? So if there's a person that has a business, it automatically changes from if Disney calls you, right? Because there have been other things that I have done as far as movie sets and other things that my husband has not gone to,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody would bat an eye if I'm talking to the director or if I'm going to meet, for a shoot for this or that. Your spouse is not always coming, and so I think the notion that just because it's this person, and I understand
excuses. If I have a broad, right? Like, say if I was stupid enough and I had a broad, like a personal one, or I was stupid enough to marry her. There's no way I'm letting her fly out to some random nigga in Detroit. I'll give a how many subscribers you got. I don't care if you're doing whatever. This is what happens when you're marrying female influencers. So you're basically asking for it. You know what I mean? Like you're asking for the drama. This is why it doesn't matter if it's a so-called conservative influencer, a so-called conservative influencer like Micca, a so-called conservative influencer like Riley Gaines, or all these people. Somebody say, "Oh, I'm gonna fly you out here, and we're gonna collaborate." Nah, that sounds like something some OnlyFans broad would say. Because if an OnlyFans broad said the same thing, you'd be like, "Oh, she get flown out so she can to quote unquote collaborate." All right, it's not finna happen.
Saying that people have their own thoughts and perceptions of people, but I think a lot of the times when it comes down to people who are in independent media, they think it's more of a personal level, and still it's business.
Yeah, but I think what people may feel befuddled or confused by is at some point you put the business aside when rumors are brewing, when images are plastered all over social media.
Now you're talking about a year later.
Okay, so before a year later, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Has there ever been a concern from your husband about your business relationship with Anton?
My business relationship, absolutely not. Because one, he can watch it. Like, he can literally sit there and watch it. And then two, if he has a concern or anything he wants to know, I just tell him.
Has he ever been incredulous? Like skeptical? Yeah, has he been?
Yeah, so you brought up the Scarlett Johansson thing. Scarlett Johansson's husband was on the set over MCU movies. Yeah, like you'll see this all the time with those actresses. Their husbands will actually be on the set even when they have like sex scenes. You know what I mean? They'll still be there. So Micca, stop. like come on now. But that's like, I think that's the difference between, I don't know what it is. I think it's like I said, when BWs lie, it's different. I don't know what it is. Like, for me, if you're lying, right? It doesn't matter if you whatever race you are. If you're lying, you're lying. But when B-dubs lie, it's different. It's just not. They really, it's just not believable. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but it's clear. It should be clear to everybody. I mean, you're 30 minutes into the interview, 40 minutes into the interview, just lying. I was gonna set up something with the husband, and then she did that hand clap. She said, but he couldn't go. He had to work. Nobody's buying that. Nobody. I don't know what it is, man. He said they're like Becky's, but with a lower IQ. Facts. Yeah, Micca wants fame so bad. You know what I mean? They try to lie like Becky's. I think BWs need to come up with a different way to lie. Because I think it's particularly, I'm talking about American BWs. They try to lie like American white women. And it just doesn't work. Now, I think it's different. Maybe it might be different with African women, because like in countries like Nigeria, paternity fraud is like high in the African countries. But for some reason, the African women are more believable to hear than American BWs. There's got to be something to that. It's got to be something to that. But I do notice that as well. What American black women tend to do, they tend to when they lie or if they're capping, they tend, especially if they try to assimilate or they were raised a certain way and they're trying to assimilate later on in life, when they lie, it's just, they try to lie like American white women, and it comes across as super disingenuous, you know. The way I grew up, you know what I mean? I don't, and people might say this is racist, but I had a certain experience with, experiences with older white women when I was a kid. So when I used to hear how they talk behind the scenes, you know what I mean? When people think they're not watching them, and I saw how they really talk. So it's, when it comes to white women in general, I tend not to believe them just off rip when they talking. You know what I mean? But people might think I'm lying when I say, but I put that on everything, bro. Like when white women talk, I always be like, for some reason, I'm assuming that they're lying to me. So that's why I tend to catch them. I tend to catch them up on when they're lying a lot of the times. This is why it's almost like a love-hate relationship I have with white women, because they just be shocked that I'm like, you don't have to, I'm like, you don't have to say that. But it's just, that's just my experience with them, since these were like my earliest, my elementary teachers. This is what I was dealing with, right? And I saw how they talked, you know, doing that bullshit, you know, when you know how these hoes be in the hallway talking shit about the kids. You ever seen this? Like when I used to see this when I was a kid, they put they got their little attendance clipboard, and then they're talking to other teachers, and they're covering their mouths like those NFL, like those NFL head coaches, they be covering their mouth when they're saying the plays. These teachers the Caucasian female teachers, they did this all the time when they were talking shit about kids. I'm like, they think I don't see them talking shit. Wow. And they will just lie. I'm talking about, they will just lie. But you got to see it up close and personal. Because I'll hear other black dudes. These are the dudes that they're not really experienced with Becky's. They'll say, they'll complain about what black women are doing, and they'll say white women wouldn't. I don't ever hear white women doing this to their husbands or whatever. I'm like, that's because they put gag orders on their husbands. they be doing that same issue, but it's just on a different level. And white women have this thing where they can just lie, but they can they can lie so easy, but it's like without skipping a beat. This is why I don't like, you know, with BWs, people might say they're a little bit too aggressive, but I actually rather them tell the truth than them trying to lie like white women. Because white women, they're so good at, like, they could just lie like it's nothing. And it's just you'll just be, I used to be like, at first I used to be shocked at how easy white women could lie. Just so easy, you know. It's almost like breathing. they lie, like they is like, it's just as easy as they lie, like how I can just go to a piano and just play a chord, right? I can just, if you tell me, hey Chris, give me a C major 7, and I can just, without skipping a beat, right? That's how they lie. It's nothing to them. And they can like just move on with their lives. But anyway. Anywho, let me see. Cope approach said smart move. You know, he said, oh yeah, SOV said white supremacists tend to be very passive aggressive. Yeah, that's why I always say the most racist white person the most racist person I've ever met. The most racist group of people I've ever met were American raised left-leaning Asians, right? Not necessarily East Indians, but Eastern Asians, right? Vietnamese, Chinese, yeah, but it's a large Vietnamese population where I'm at, but some of the most passive aggressive, some of the most racist, passive aggressive ish, dog. Like, wow, especially with my backing, playing in the orchestra when I was a young kid, seeing these kids up close, conversing with them up close, a lot of passive aggressive racist ish. You know what I mean? I didn't have when I was in, like, especially when I was like in orchestra, or if I was doing like recitals or stuff, I had plenty of praise from my Caucasian counterparts. But it was a lot of passive aggressive racist behavior from the Asians, from there, not necessarily their parents, but from the kids, which is kind of interesting to me now that I think about it. But it is what it is. Yeah, Korean, right? Yeah, the Korean. Yeah, you know. But yeah, a lot of other liberal white chicks. If they don't get their way, you'll see it. What happens with like the conservative, like right leaning white chicks? They just wouldn't just associate with me, which is completely fine. You know what I mean? But what they will end up warming up to me later on. I actually like it when it's like that, but you'll have the liberal chicks, whatever race they may be, and when they don't get their way and they finally figure out they can't change you to they can't change you to what they want you to be or what they thought you were, then their true colors come out. You know what I mean? So that was my experience. You know what I mean? That was my experience when it came to chicks like that when I was younger. But anyways, oh yeah, same thing in high school, right? And I'll say this though, shout out to the one Indian chick that I knew. You ever pick up on something like there was this one Asian boy, this Asian little gay boy that used to, give me fake praise and shit, but I knew he was talking shit about me behind my back. There was this one Asian girl that he would talk to, hang out with, and every time this boy and the Asian girl, he would try to praise me in front of her, but she was like, yeah, but she gave me the look where it was just like, that's where I started picking up that he was hating on me. And then I ended up finding out a little bit later, but shout out to you, because she gave me plenty of hints to let me know that nigga was full of shit when he was talking about me. Right. But man, I could do a whole thing on that, but shout out to her, because I don't expect women to just give up the ghost and be like, oh, this dude did this to you, or she said this about you. I don't expect women to do all that. That's asking too much. But shout out to her. She gave me more than enough hints to where I was like, oh, I'm picking up what you're throwing down. So shout out to her. But there was a lot of East Asians like that. I'm not gonna hold you. Very passive aggressive. XVY Jay-Z said Chris is cooking. Please do a stream on that topic. Maybe. No, something's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be like an Asian chick. She's gonna get exposed for being like super racist. Like it's probably gonna be one of these female Asian Twitch streamers. She's gonna get exposed for being like very, 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 very racist. And that's happened before. Like I remember I told you when I was in the DMs on one of these Moroccan chicks. Mind you, this is not an Asian, but this is a North African, Middle Eastern chick, but she's thick, right? She's the type of chick that can only really mess with ninjas because only ninjas find her attractive. But I remember I had asked her something about, like, I wasn't in her DM to flirt. I was asking her something because it was a video. She posted a very suspect video, and I was like, why would you post this this specific thing? Right? Because it was like I don't know, I found it like something she had posted something very like offensive or sketchy. I'm like, what's this about? And she was in my DMs calling me N-words and all. I was like, damn. I was like, whoa. It was like this North African chick. I remember I sent the screenshots to Ainsley. I don't know if but I don't know. I think I sent Ainsley the info on the girl. But I was like, damn, like she was like racist in the DMs back to me, talking about I need to go back to slavery. Now, to be fair, I said something about her first, about her being a bad human being. That's what I said. I didn't call her I didn't call her a bitch or anything, but I was like, hey, you doing this? This is crazy behavior. And she replied back with some racism, like pure, like this is some shit I ain't never heard from the white chick. I'm telling you, I was like, yo, what is this? Somebody said, what was the incident with the teachers? Oh no, the teachers, they be, these teachers, they be having beefs with kids. Like these are grown adults and they have beefs with kids that are 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old. Beef. They got beefs with kids. And they're like in their 30s. I used to be like, how's this even a thing? I'm talking about talking reckless. Or I would like it would be like one teacher would find out something about my personal life, and then every other teacher would find out about my personal life. Like a teacher found out something about me, then I go to another teacher, and then they know. I'm like, how is that even how? The only teachers that were straight was this older white Italian teacher that I had when I was in. Actually, let me not say anymore. I had an old Italian teacher that I met between the 3rd and 5th grade. I'm not going to say which grade. That was the best teacher I ever had in my life. Right? She was solid, old, like a real old school type of teacher. Right? Her, and then it was her, and then the other best teachers I had were all men, right? So, we had a black substitute teacher that came in that filled in as an intern, and then we had 2 other teachers that came, male teachers that came in. Coolest teachers I've ever had in elementary school. 2 older white dudes. One was coming straight out of college, and then one was already at the school. And then and I'll say this: my 5th grade teacher, older white dude, right? He even checked up on me when I was in middle school, right? So you could tell that he actually cared, right? So when it comes to, I'm just saying, like even when people talk about the whole crisis where these kids can't read and kids are not doing well in school, I'm like, well, we have primarily female teachers. I don't think that helps. And people can be mad at me for saying that, but I'm just saying, I only knew of there's only like a couple good female teachers I ever had, or that I observed where I was like, oh, she's a decent teacher. A lot of these teachers, like, dog, oh my God. I remember there was like one other decent teacher in the 5th grade. She was good. I never heard her talk crazy about any of the students. But ironically, she probably was. You can tell that back in the day, like she used to be super pretty. But I never had a crush on that teacher. But that's the irony of the whole thing. I didn't see her with a whole bunch of. I never saw her do a whole bunch of gossiping and stuff like that. And one thing I always noticed about her, like you could tell, like she really cared about her kids. So every year I would see her. Every time like her class, her 5th grade class would graduate, she would be the only one crying. I'm talking about every year. And people would make fun of her for that. I'm like, what's this like? They're like, oh my God, every time her class graduates, she'd be crying. I would hear other teachers make fun of her about that. So, like I said, it's the people that actually do their job or that actually care about the kids, they tend to get ostracized. But that's a whole other series I can make about that. Oh man. XVYJZ says North Africa is extremely racist. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, Morocco, Algeria, No disrespect, but yeah, I'll say specifically Morocco. Yeah, like yeah. Yeah, a lot of those North African countries, Egypt, even though there's plenty of there's plenty of like dark-skinned Africans in Egypt in these places, but a lot of the North Africans they're connected to, the Middle East. So that's where you're actually going to experience some of your most racist, Arabians. Not necessarily like the actual, when you're talking about Bangladesh, Kazakhstan, all those stands, whatever in the Middle East. I'm talking about specifically with Northern Africa. That's where you're going to find, for some reason, your most racist Arabians, if that makes sense. Somebody said he might get blacklisted for having this convo. No, I'll be fine. Somebody said they have a fetish for black brothers, but don't care for the struggle. Like I said, I'll say, when it comes, because people can talk about attraction, people can talk about fetish, a fetish. This is why it's kind of hard for, there's always this thing where black men feel like they've always getting hated on. They're either too loved or they're too hated. Is because at one point they can be the most hated, but at the same time they can be the most fetishized. Like at the end, I'm talking about in the same sentence. So it's really hard for people to give a proper assessment. If a man is giving a judgment on another black man, people are always going to question, is he being racist? Is he being too kind? People are never going to assume it's a fair judgment. You know what I mean? Cope Approach says, by the way, for the $5 super chat, my bad. I'm supposed to put this on.
Donations. Gifts. More gifts.
Shout out to him with the $5 super chat. Yeah, Pakistan. I already forgot. I'm like, this a whole bunch. Oh yeah, Yemen. I forgot. Yeah, Yemen. But I had a lot of friends. I got a lot of people that I know from Yemen. Coolest people that I met. Right. Let me see. SOV724 says Speed found out the hard way. He exposed them. Oh yeah. Yemen, Oman. Yeah, like you're actually gonna experience more racism in Morocco or even certain parts in Sudan, right? They have this thing where like if you're lighter skin, or if you're darker skin, you get treated worse than the light skin. It's almost it's they have their own bit of they have their own system of that over there too. But yeah, all those Northern African, a lot of those Northern African countries, you know what I mean? Man, yeah, it is what it is. I'll leave that alone though. Let me leave that alone. But yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Sudan, they got their own set of problems too over there. Let me scroll down. Oh yeah, I saw that nonsense in the AFCON. This was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous what happened with the Senegal and Morocco game. Pure lunacy. Pure nonsense. But shout out to Senegal for pulling through, man. Shout out to Senegal. But anyways,
with your flying out there, or depending on how long you stay, or just the mere fact that I never even met this person, has he just had that sort of incredulity, if you will, about not meeting your male business partner?
So I think he would like to be, more involved with coming out there, but again, and you know what Mazen does for an event, sure. So it's not feasible.
No, it's feasible, because here's how I see it. If Anton has to,
he said it's not feasible. Come on, man, stop it.
Get on an airplane and come and meet your husband out of respectability, then that's what a man
Well,
does.
if that
So it's
was
feasible.
no, I was talking about feasible for if anytime I have to get up and go do something. And it's not
Oh, I know that because your husband hasn't always been on the show when we were doing something. So I get that.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean by it's not always feasible. But if it was to that point where he wanted to have, Anton do something, or if it was, well, I want to go,
Sure.
that would have been fine.
Yeah.
But it's never I don't, how should I say it? I don't give a, I need to hide this, or it's just, I just really feel that because this is independent, that we are not looking at it as
This bitch got too much, you know how Drake used to be moving with his hands back in the day? Too much of that. too much of that. She's capping.
business because
what is independent?
Because this is okay, so this is your business here.
Sure.
I can talk to you directly instead of having to talk to 1,001 people
Yes.
to get to you.
Oh, I see what
So
you're saying.
with that, it's still a business,
Yep.
but I can talk directly to you. So I can talk directly to Anton. So being that I can talk directly to Anton, I think people get a sense of that. Well, because you can do that, then now it's something more happening if you go meet with this person.
Yeah.
Versus looking at it still the same. Yeah, this is not a big corporation, but this is still business, and this is still a person that is going to be employing me, contracting me, whatever. That still has to happen. If I was flying to Disney has to pay for my room and board.
Yeah.
Disney has to do this, that, and the third. And so again, I think because it's a singular person that is easily accessible per se.
That's right. Yep.
Now it's a different notion. Well, this must be for this instead of looking at it as business.
So let's call a thing, if you will. And I want to really drive it home. Has Anton ever flirted with you?
Flirted with me as a sense of what? Just naturally, like we're sitting here, or because I'm gonna.
Oh my God. Just say yes or no. Has such and such ever flirted with you? Yes or no? Oh my goodness, Lord.
Well, I don't want to get into wordsmithing.
No, there's no wordsmithing.
Okay.
The reason why I'm asking,
because I want to talk about some pictures too.
No, yeah,
Okay.
I got you. But
Yeah.
the reason why I'm asking is because there's two different things, right? So Anton does things for content, and then there's things that Anton would do if we're just sitting here.
Okay.
So if you're saying personally, if me and Anton was just sitting here, no. Now, if you're talking about for content, when we're doing the virtual rooms and things for the show, Anton has said multiple things. So that's why I asked, which one are you talking
So
about?
let me hear a few of the multiple things that he said that was a flirt.
What people would consider if he's,
It's just only on camera. This is oh my goodness, man. And oh my God.
Not people what you considered as a flirt.
I would say probably if he's like, oh, Micca, you're so sweet, or you're so cute, right? But the problem that I have with it is because I know he's doing it for content, right? And he's not actually talking to me. However, I will say what I probably should have paid more attention to.
Sure.
Low key, maybe I'm looking a little bit. She low key sweating out her makeup. She lying so much. She's sweating out her makeup. I can already see it. But anyways. Oh, you're saying Micca's Dominican? He says, well, yeah. Well, look, it doesn't matter where these hoes is from. They are like, I'm just so used to them capping. And mind you, Micca's like how old? Micca's got to be, let me see, how old is Micca? She seems like she's around Rook Taylor's age, because Rook Taylor, what, like 34, 35, 36? Let me see, Micca age. What's her age? He said there's no publicly available. I feel like for some reason, I feel like she's like in her mid 30s. Like she didn't hit 35 yet, no. But to me, she comes across like she's like 34, 33. You know what I mean?
Is the fact that people take content as real life instead of just content, right? Because I come from a world where I know entertainment is entertainment, and people say this and that, with reality shows, all of that. It's just for entertainment, and they go, the cameras cut off, and they don't really hate each other. They talk to each other.
But has he said those things to you privately?
No.
Oh yeah, so exactly. Content will be the new excuse to hide cheating. They already do, because even the OF chicks, they will literally look you in your face, look in the camera, and say, "Oh no, that's not me cheating." They'll be like, "I have a boyfriend or I have a girlfriend at home," and they'll be like, "That body doesn't count. That's work." Like, no, you're literally having sex on camera. No, that's work. That's different. They will look. I'm talking about dead in your face, and then they just expect you to just buy that, and you're just like, no, that's. But you can't tell them otherwise. You can't tell them otherwise. She says she's 33ish. Yeah, she's got to be around like 33, 34, 35ish. No more than 35. I'd be shocked. Like if she's like 38, I'd be shocked. She's like, yeah, she's got to be 36, 35, 34. I'm gonna lean towards 34. However old Rook Taylor is, or sorry, I keep fucking up her name. Taylor Rooks. Taylor Rooks is probably, yeah, Taylor Rooks is how old? See, Taylor Rooks age. Yeah, 33. Taylor Rooks is 33. So I think she's around that same age. So she's probably, yeah, I'll say 34. I think, but when I'm looking at these fake eyebrows, you know what I mean? 35-ish, 34, you know what I mean? The internet is not real life. Nah, that's content, babe. That's the new thing. Because you say that's the future. That's already happening now, man. And they're, just, but it is what it is. I'm gonna leave that alone.
That's why I asked
it's all been on the show.
Yes, that's why I asked you the difference, and that's why I wanted to make that distinction. Because if I just said, yeah, he said this word, you would probably think it's just because we're sitting here. That's why I said no. He has done it for content while we're all, and mind you, he says it to not just me, other women on the panel.
And how did you feel when a married man said that to a married woman?
Again, at first,
Mrs. Conservative.
Because you don't understand,
who doesn't
content,
understand?
Meaning, well, I'm talking about myself.
Yeah.
So again, being on YouTube, when you don't understand certain bounds of YouTube panels and things like that, people on panels say all types of egregious stuff or whatever to get reactions from the crowd, right? And so you might personally take stuff a certain way when they were just doing it as a reaction to get people in the crowd.
So how did you feel?
I didn't feel a certain way. I didn't say anything because I was a little off-putted. But once I understood what he was trying to do, I'm like, okay, well, you can't say this and that and the third. It's okay if you're like, okay, I have beautiful women on my panel. That is fine, right? Because people can acknowledge that people look that look nice and things like that. But it's when it becomes personalized that it looks funny to the audience.
How does his wife feel? Has his wife Rita ever expressed to you her disdain, or have you heard her discuss something with him about her disapproval of saying that to you on the show? Even because well, let me just say this just before you answer. I think there's a line you draw in the sand when I say something because it's content. So I'm producing content here. I'm doing a show. And if I say to you, knowing your husband, wow, you look so beautiful and you're so gorgeous, I wish we could probably just go for a nice drink. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, but he's never said that to me.
Yeah, but totally he may not have used my words. I'm just saying.
No, he's never done that. Period. Like, oh, let's go for it.
But he's called you beautiful.
Oh, yes.
And gorgeous.
Yes.
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 On the show.
Yes.
And to you, that's not a problem. Because it's happened more than once.
Correct.
And I'm not trying to make it a problem.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Sure.
Let me answer your question. So yes, he said beautiful, gorgeous, whatever. But
he's not even grilling her. He's not even like from my vantage point, he's not even grilling her. And by the way, you guys, if you guys want to watch the interview yourself, you can go on this channel, Talk Perspective. Not a side chick. Micca breaks her silence on Anton Daniels, and other people have already reacted to this video, and they're literally, I think, I don't know if Danica or Six the Goddess, I don't know who reacted to it, but they were literally like, bro, Micca should have just stayed home. Oh man. SOV724 said, be careful who you deal with, otherwise you'll be explaining your relationship like Micca. Facts. I can agree with that, definitely.
There's not like, well, I want to take you to the whatever, or let's do this and this and that. And it's just,
well, he's taking you somewhere. Let's look at this picture. You guys were at a game when you said he wanted to take me somewhere. Now, I'll be honest. When I saw this picture, I was flabbergasted.
Why?
Because
wait.
Sure.
So go back to
So this is the picture, obviously the one where they're at the game together. Let me see if I can actually bring it up on Instagram. Let me see. Do I still got that? Let me see. Do I still have that? Or does she still have that on her platform? It might be useless for me to bring that up. But literally, if you go on Micca's Instagram page, she always is making sure that she's taking a picture with the men that she puts on her Instagram are all men with clout or fame. She makes sure that this is all of her photos. Oh, bro, I think yo, I'm looking at her, dude. I can't believe. Look, okay, I'm sorry to throw you guys off, but if you go on Micca's Instagram page, she did a lot of deleting of photos. Like she deleted a lot of photos. There's all of her photos with Anton Daniels is gone, bro. What's going on? Oh my god. I'm looking where yeah, she deleted all of her photos with her and Anton Daniels. This is hilarious, bro. Oh man, you can't make this stuff up. She deleted all of her. Let me see even the reels. From the looks of it, yeah, even the reels, bro. She deleted all content with her and Anton Daniels. Yeah, it looks like the hubby found out. The hubby finally put two and two together. Oh man. He said, you cheated on me with this ninja? Out of all the times I trusted you. She you can look this up yourself on Instagram. Anton got scrubbed off of her Instagram. So you can't even look up this photo that they're showing up. I'm thinking I'm about to make a point. She already scrubbed everything off. Yep. XVYJZ says they can use gray areas to their advantage and then gaslight you if you have an issue with it. Facts. Yeah. Ellis is here. Says Chris Mike says no. He tags me. He says Micca is deleting photos like she worked for TPUSA. Oh man, this is crazy, man. But I think I wish I could pin this message right here. He says they can use gray areas to their advantage and then gaslight you if you have an issue with it. This is why, especially I'll say nowadays, it's basically impossible in terms of dating. Even dude, this is one. I keep telling you, this is one chick. She wants me to ask her out, but I'm not gonna do it because I know who she is, and it's no disrespect. Think she's cool. She actually she brings something to the table, quote unquote. She actually has skills, but she likes to be around dudes. I just can't do that. It's not good. It's not good for my brand. Now, and mind you, she has parents with money and all that. That could be beneficial to me and all that. She has money per se. She works for a nonprofit. She could hook me up with this and she could hook me up with that. But in terms of claiming, because that's what she wants me to do. She doesn't want me to just smash. She wants me to take that next step. And I'm like, I can't do that. Sorry, bro, I'd rather take the chance on the the young black girl that approached me at my last gig. I'd rather take a chance on her than this, because only 2 years younger than me. Yeah, we do the same things. We could help each other out. We could literally help each other, but it's not going to be a good look for me. Now I'll say this: if she was a little bit younger, like say she's like 3 years younger, then you know what, maybe. But nah, I can't have that. And it's gonna make, first of all, it's gonna make me look crazy. And I just rather have it out there that she likes me than me doing stuff for her, because then people are gonna start putting two together. Wait a minute. So this is why, this is why she's on your gigs. This is why she was able to do the studio session with such and such, because she's calling you to get. So I don't even want to get that shit out there. I'm gonna just let her be. Just let her be. I had to do it this way. You know what I mean? But I just hope that she doesn't take offense to that. Somebody said, "You're young, have fun." There's consequences with that, right? There's, like I said, there's trade-offs, right? There's trade-offs with that. Because I'll say this. Let me tell you this. Eventually, people are going to find out about this channel. Eventually, and once they do, they will look at my actions, and then they will look at this channel, and they'll be like, you know what, I get it. and they will give me grace. I've seen this happen in real life, where it's even like people that I work with, particularly in the in the Chitlin circuit. They'll find out about my channel, but then they literally look at how I act, and they're just like, and then they take that, and then they look at my channel. I'm like, actually, you know what? It makes sense. It makes, like, I've had people be like, I've seen your channel, and even though they don't like it, but it's basically congruent with what I say, so they don't completely damn me for it. Now here I am. If I'm doing this, and then now I got her, nah, that's gonna be messy. That's a mess waiting to happen. And people, because SOV, I think you're just focused on, well, what about the sex and what? No. It's too risky. And like I said, my record has been floss in terms of I've never slept with anybody that I work with. It's basically been floss. And mind you, I know the bar is low, but it's good when you have a reputation where it's like, oh, he doesn't do this. Oh, he's willing to work with this person. He's willing to work with that person. He's a good person to be around. So now, especially if you have if you're working with a dude that is already insecure about his girl, right? Because a lot of these dudes that are out here as simps, now they don't mind bringing me along because they know I'm not going to pull it, even if their girl is flirting. Because you'll do like, especially if, around my age, especially if you're doing gigs with people around your age. If you're doing gigs with people around your age and the dude finds out that his girl has some feelings for you, you're not going to get no gigs. But if you are a person where even if she is a flirt, but you're a person you don't flirt back, they'll give you a pass. This has happened to me where you'll have like the girl, she's in the band with the dude, she's a flirt. I remember one time she was OD doing a little bit too much. I keep my hands behind my back, right? I keep things short and simple. You know what I mean? Especially if he's getting, when people are like, oh yeah, he just doesn't do anything, he just does his thing and then minds his own business, I'm gonna get that call back, right? It's all about what you're willing to give up, especially, or your reputation. I rather people say I don't do nothing than he's gonna do something. I rather that. And I've just been cool with having that rep ever since, I'll say, low-key, I've had that rep for a while when it comes to my relationships, but I'd rather just have that rep than just whatever. I've even seen, because even when I remember, I'll never forget when I was on tour and then homegirl gave me the Instagram, but I was just so locked in. They were like, Chris, you didn't see? I was like, shit, fuck, whatever. And I'd rather have all of my interactions be outside of music, because any drama that I've been in with a girl has been outside of music. So I never have to worry about my worlds intertwining, right? It's always been with some normie chick. You know what I mean? Everything that I've done sexually has always been outside of music. And I'm already people that I know that, yeah, it's cool from time to time you sleeping with this girl and she's cool, but then now she wants to. The reason why I haven't even, I'll say this, even the reason why I haven't checked back with homegirl from the college gig is because her music is trash. Like she needs to get like way better. But she knows I'm connected and she knows, oh, maybe I can get him to do a gig for free or shit like that. And I'm like, and her music is not that good. You know what I mean? So these are the things that, because we're just thinking about the sex. I think that's for this. You just have fun. Nah, there's consequences to that, man. There's consequences. All of a sudden, I end up being her de facto manager / whatever. I gotta assemble the crew for her because I'm sleeping with her, even though we're not together. I'm sleeping with her. Now I gotta set up the crew for her. Now I gotta pick out the crew. Now I gotta do the bookings, and I'm not getting no. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right. Cope Approach said, well played. He says, use protection for the selection. XVY JC says, my sister does it to me as well. SMH, good man keep dissecting their BS and calling it out. Ellis is here. But like, this is somebody said she gonna fall in love or something. Your game must be like that. No, what happens is when you don't give the attention, right? And especially if she was like feeling you at first, but you still don't give the attention and you're just yourself and you're cool. For some weird reason, the less attention you give, the more obsessed she's gonna be. So it's a lose-lose. it's and at the same time, it's still riskier giving in to your animalistic stuff, and then you sleep with the broad, and then it just ends up being a mess. Nope, it's not gonna happen. XVY JC says, yep, I experienced that. I don't even like smashing my home gym girls because if it goes bad, I have to see them often. I hate drama. Like, I'll say this, the best time to do this kind of stuff is like when you're traveling. This is why we encourage men to travel. So when you're traveling out of state, if you're going to, if you got to stay at a hotel that you're not going to come back to. Now, if you want to flirt there, if you feel confident enough, then maybe, but still know your boundaries. But at least you don't have to worry about going back. But like I said, I always say the worst places to do this is at your home gym. That's like the worst place to approach your girls, because that's the last place you want to be known to be a creep or to be known as a guy that doesn't know his boundaries. That's the last place. Oh man. SOV724 says, for me, if I don't have a professional relationship with a woman, it's going to be for an intimate relationship, but not both, and no in between. But at the end of the day, even if it's just a sex only thing, it's going to go bad. Because when you're just focused on like those first couple weeks when you're doing it and everything's all good, and somebody's going to catch feelings. You going to catch feelings, or she's going to catch feelings, or both. Or you think as a man, you think you don't got feelings, but then you're seeing her with other men, and I've seen this, and people, like, I already got people mad at me because of just that interaction. like I already have people tight at me just because of that interaction I have with that woman. So it's not worth it. So at least, shit, I try to do everything to make myself look like a simp too. I'll just be like, or in terms of making sure I'm not attractive, meaning I'll even open up about myself. I'll say I'm afraid of this, but it don't work. It don't work. in a word, because most people, I'll say this, most women are not used to being around an honest dude. I'm not talking about a good dude. I mean like an honest dude. Free trial ends. Oh Lord, yeah. Somebody said this dude, True Prodigy 27, be doing dozens of cold approaches in his home gym. Did you guys see what happened to that boy? What's his name? What's that boy's name? He just got smacked by Larry Wheels. I'm blanking on his name right now. Yeah, Dean the Great, right? With his dumb ass. I don't know if that was staged or not, but I have a feeling that was not staged. Right? These cold approach ninjas, these Riz artists. There's been people even older than me. I can't say their names. They'll just tell me, oh, like I remember I had an opinion about Destiny, right? Remember when ABBA was dancing with Destiny's girl right in front of him on live stream, and I said, I'm like, I'm like, ABBA, that's just like a sleazeball thing for him to do. Like, I don't care what arrangement he has. I don't care that he's a cuck. That's just a bet. Like, you're embarrassing him in front of the people. And mind you, I don't like Destiny at all. Like, he could literally like go away and I wouldn't care. But I'm just saying, like, as a man, you shouldn't do that, right? But there were people telling me, oh no, it doesn't matter. Destiny's a cuck, so it shouldn't. I'm like, guys, don't do that. We know cucks don't like being cucks. So you're just literally putting I'm like, guys, don't do that. I don't care how weak you think that man is. If you out here disrespecting a man's wife in front of him, you never know when that person is going to snap. You never know. You saw what happened with Will Smith. Mind you, Chris Rock did nothing wrong. Chris Rock all he did was make fun of her bald head. And it was the pressures of everybody calling him a cuck, everybody calling Will Smith a weak man. And it was just everything culminating. And that's why he went up on the stage and damn near ruined his career. It wasn't just because Chris Rock called his wife bald-headed. It was a culmination of everything. Cucks don't like being cucks. These men that are in these situations, they're in an abusive situation. Just people won't call it an abusive relationship, but that's what it is. And then one day they snap. And I'll be telling people, I'll be like, watch out for these people. They're gonna snap one day. These like the Destinies of the world, the Will Smith, like I predicted one day Will Smith was gonna snap. And you never know when that day's gonna be. Now, Chris Rock, he didn't do nothing wrong. Like, he literally did nothing wrong. And Will Smith snapped. Now, you're Dean the Great. You're gonna be right in front of Larry Wheels saying his wife is up for grabs. You trying to hug her in front of her. I'm just drinking, your wife, man, talking crazy about his wife in front of him. I'm like, bruh, I don't care what you think the arrangement is, but dude, you go, somebody, look, people be getting shot over this stuff, but people want to keep playing. Oh yeah, I just took this dude's wife. I just took this dude's girl. People really think they should get cool points for this. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Exactly. Will Smith's slap was weak, but you see how it's everything. It's the pressures. It's everything that it finally got to him at the wrong time. It finally got to him. It's not natural for a man to be a cuck. It's just not natural. Or to be embarrassed like that, in front of the nation by their wife. It's just not natural. Men, we can't handle that. We're not meant to handle that kind of abuse. Exactly. Jada's face, because Will was laughing. Will was laughing at first. Jada makes one face, and oh yeah, somebody said, he said that was the smoothest rebound in live TV history. I could not believe this dude did not get, like, Will Smith should have been arrested for assault. But like I said, shout out to Chris Rock. He could have, that was a perfect opportunity to press charges, but he didn't. Like, like, Chris Rock is a real one. And no, and you know what's crazy? Nobody checked up on if Chris Rock was feeling okay. Everybody went up to Will. All these fake ass actors, they went up to Will, and they was all basically trying to see if Will was okay. And how Will Smith, he's the one that slapped Chris, but then Will Smith was the one that ended up crying. Will Smith was the one that ended up crying, but Chris Rock is literally like, what the fuck? What kind of hoe ass nigga you gotta be to slap somebody on TV, and you the one that's crying? You know, that, like, ever since then, like, I've never had respect for Will after that. But I knew what that was. I knew exactly what that was. It's just a culmination of all of that stuff, and he snapped. He snapped. That's what happened. Those are the ones I always be having my eyes on, these people, the Larry Wheels of the world, the Destinies of the world, right? I've made plenty of videos about this. These are the people that I worried about. I'm like, man, one day they're going to snap. And shout out to, I'll say this, Kevin Hart had a funny joke about this. He had made fun of the moment. That was, I'll give it to Kevin Hart. That was funny. He said that shit's gonna happen to me one day. I can see it. I can see that happening to me. And I got respect. I got respect for Kevin Hart doing that. Let me see if I can find that. Kevin Hart makes fun of Will Smith moment. Yeah, I thought, is it this? Let me see if I can find it. Sorry guys, I'm looking at it real quick. Yeah, I think it's this. Is it this? Let me see if it's this one right here. Let me see if it's this.
All the shit I've been through, I should be fucking crazy. And who knows? Maybe it's coming. Maybe I got crazy waiting on me. Because you don't expect it. Nobody plans to be crazy. It just happens. Crazy just sneaks up on you. Look at Will Smith. He didn't plan that. That just happened.
Yeah.
What? He didn't plan that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's just something, you know what I mean?
It just fucking happened. Keep my wife's name out your mother. He didn't fucking plan that. Keep my wife's name out your mother. She jumped out his goddamn body. You have any idea how crazy you gotta be to make Samuel L. Jackson jump back? Do you have any idea? Keep my wife next to say, what the fuck happening, Jack? Goddamn. There's times where I actually want to know.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Kevin Hart props for that. He did make me laugh with this one, because that's just the reality. Motherfuckers don't plan that shit, but especially when you're living in a lie, you'll snap from time to time.
What you were saying, because you can't intertwine the two. So you were asking,
sure,
was he expounding on
flirt
on the certain type of things that he says, and we were talking about him saying it's beautiful, whatever, but not expounding in that way.
Yes.
Now, what is your question that you're asking now?
Because well, I think I asked you, was it disrespectful? Did you feel that it was disrespectful? And I think you answered it by saying no, because you realized that
she was caught up in so much lying that she forgot the question.
And people do these shows and they say things, and you also clarified it by saying outside of the show that has never happened. Would that be correct? What I heard?
Right, but you use the hook at the end to say, well, he's taking you somewhere.
Well, I think you said something, and we can probably roll it back in post production. You said something about when we go places or he takes me somewhere, and that's what made me say.
So what I said was he's not adding on to the beautiful or gorgeous, saying dang, you're so
correct,
gorgeous
yes.
that I want to take you to the whatever, so we can do this.
And I thought we clarified that because I said those are my words. That's what I said, and you did say he doesn't say that.
No.
Right, and I didn't want to put words in his mouth, but I wanted to be clear. So let's go to the picture.
Okay.
Tell us about this. How did this happen?
So this was the day that we did the interview. So as you,
The show did an interview, or just you and him?
this was my interview.
The first day.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
So this is my interview day, because you can go and you can see the outfits, the same
Sure.
outfit, same everything. Now what he is doing here is he had already a business meeting set up there. So there is.
That's what he told you.
No,
correct?
that's what
No,
happened.
I'm not saying that's what he told you as if that was a cake bake. He told you he had a business meeting and you were invited.
No.
Okay.
So again, back there, probably like on the first level there is.
By the way, did you guys? Yeah, I'm looking at the updates. I hope you guys saw my India Love video. Shout out to that India Love video. Oh, SOV says 724 says, he said, by the way, that Kevin stand up was super mid. Oh yeah, that like Kevin's stand up is mid, but I did like that segment. Like historically, in terms of comic wise, he's definitely not in my top 10. But I had to bring that up just to remind people like that wasn't something that Will Smith, he didn't plan that shit. That's what happened when Simp snapped. But then with Dean the Great, he literally Dean the Great basically sped up the process by being vehemently disrespectful. And at the end of the day, this is what happens when you're with a woman like the woman that Larry Wheels is with. She's gonna have you acting crazy. And notice Larry Wheels' girl, she was smiling the whole time, smiling. You know, but that's something that's also makes, because I'm the type of person, I'm not gonna just call out Dean the Great. I'm gonna call out the bitch, be like, look, you sitting there smiling, you could have messed up Rampage's money, because I don't think on Kick, I don't think you're allowed to fight. Or when you're doing streaming, you can't just be fighting people on stream. You can lose your channel over there. You could have messed up Rampage's money. You could have messed up Larry Wheels' money, because in the future people are going to be afraid to bring Larry Wheels on, because they're probably going to be like, man, I don't think he can take a joke. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't understand the collateral damage. So the type of woman you're with, you know, that's why I told you earlier, you gotta be real. Be like, what type of broad am I with? And sometimes you'll see a lot of dudes, they end up being stuck with certain women. It's not because the pussy's good. A lot of the times because they literally have they're living with that woman, or she helped him out during a financial crisis, so he feels like I got to stick with her a little bit, or the bitch is literally just stuck to him. He can't really escape the bitch. So these are the things you got to take into account. People are just thinking about the sex. Outside of the sex, what's going to happen to me with her? And once people start thinking that way, I think people will be like, okay, maybe let me chill out, and they will only take deals that are favorable. Yeah, somebody said, yeah, a good woman will diffuse the situation. She was sitting there, Larry Wheels' girl was sitting there laughing and kikiing the whole time. Larry Wheels really need to get rid of that girl, but you know, it is what it is.
An area where if you have, your high roller seats and things like that, you I don't know what they call it there in Detroit, but here in DC, they call it maybe the Altar Club and things like that, where all the people that have club seats, things like that. Yeah, you have, of course, conference rooms, other things up there. And back there is where he had his meetings. He met a couple of high profile people. They were talking about sponsorship. They were talking about interviews, a whole lot of stuff.
I still don't think you answered the question. What I'm trying to
ask, what was I doing there?
How did, because I said he had a business meeting and invited you, and you said no. So you didn't fall out the sky. They didn't open up the dome and you came down on a harness into the meeting. So what I'm saying is
hold on. Answer your actual question.
So this is what I'm saying. The interview is over. The one-on-one interview is over, correct?
Correct.
What does the conversation sound like to invite you to come here?
Okay.
Because I said you were invited and you said no.
Okay. So no, that's not what I said. But
we're going to play it back.
Nevertheless, so again, he had business meetings.
When you lying, you forget what you say. But anyways.
Said, well, I got a couple meetings at the game, and these people I think will be good for you to meet. I said, sure.
And you were the only one from the team that went, or I know you were on the interview.
I wasn't at a team then.
No, I'm saying the interview was his staff, his production. Like you have camera people, producers, etc. So the production is over. did he not only apprise you that he was going and invited you, were there other production people?
Well,
'Cause we all have gone out together after production.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, again, you have production people and everything, all that other stuff. Anton does everything himself.
Yes.
And I do mean all of it. Unless sometimes, like if he has something else going on, there may be another person there because they maybe have to help him with something else. But if it's
Fish is still not answering the question.
only like one thing that he's doing outside of his own videos,
Sure.
it's only him.
So his wife,
He gave him like he gave her like 5 opportunities to answer the question, and she still don't want to answer it.
wasn't there.
At this one, no.
Right. So you flew out for an interview.
Mhm.
You went to his studio or
Mhm.
place of production.
Mhm.
Y'all did an interview, and it's just you guys. Correct.
So I flew to Detroit, got to the hotel, okay, got to the studio.
He booked a hotel for you, the location.
Correct.
Okay.
Got to the studio. His wife came past the studio. That's when I first met her.
Sure.
But she did not stay.
Okay. Let me ask you this, and I'm not trying to be too investigatory, but it gives foundation.
Mhm.
How far is the hotel from the studio and from his home, if you knew that?
I've never been to his home. So
Well,
I
you
don't
don't have to go to a
You
person's
said
home.
from his
to know.
home, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, fair enough. From the studio. Give or take 5, 10, 15 minutes or more.
I say maybe 10 or 15.
Okay, 10 or 15. So then he
'Cause
says,
it's all downtown.
it's all downtown. So he says, hey, I got this.
XVY Jay-Z says, did you see that she still has Myron's DMs saved prior to Larry? First of all, it wouldn't surprise me, but women save all of their DMs. They screenshot these hoes. They screenshot everything except for them entertaining nonsense and them begging for money. I'm talking about they will screenshot everything else but them begging for money. Them negotiating the rates. You know, but that don't mean nothing. These hoes, like, because if it were really about something, they would just block that person asking to fly them out. No, they're just gonna keep it like it's a trophy. SOV724 says Micca's from DC, my city, but she's not from the soil. She's an out of towner. We don't really claim her.
Business meeting. I'm going to this game. Would you like to go with me? And obviously you said yes because you weren't forced into going.
I got this game. I got this meeting.
I had this meeting. Okay, so if I'm looking at this picture, are you all on the floor at a basketball game?
Correct. That's the floor.
Okay, at a basketball game.
Correct.
So you went to a basketball game. Did you watch the game?
No, this picture right here. We probably sat on this court maybe 10 minutes.
Oh,
We
I
were
see.
in the
So,
back.
so a meeting, and then y'all just went on the floor to take a picture.
No, we just went on the floor and we sat there maybe 10 minutes, and then they had their
Sat there 10 minutes to watch a game. For 10
He
minutes?
wanted to see a little bit of the game. Sat there maybe about 10 minutes. The quarter ended. Went right back to the back.
Okay, and was his wife invited with you guys to the business meeting?
I don't know if she was invited or not.
Was she
but
there?
if she was there, no.
She was not there.
Mm-mm.
Okay, in that moment, did you feel awkward?
No, because I was there for a meeting. So
But you had nothing to do with the meeting, right?
Let me finish.
Sure.
I was there for a meeting, right? So he's already having his business dealings, whatever he's going to do. You're in business. You're in this crowd.
Sure.
You absolutely understand that there are networking opportunities. If I know so-and-so and I bring you with me
Sure.
and so-and-so sees you,
Correct.
you can make networking opportunities. And you also know that it does not happen in a vacuum. It does not happen in offices.
Correct.
It does not. You can be at the golfing. You can be at the NBA games.
Correct.
All types of things. So again, kind of like just like the thing we were talking about with it just being the fact that it's just that person that is the business entity. I also think that when people don't know business or people have never experienced what it's like to network, especially with people that are upper echelon, they don't understand that these things don't happen in just offices. These things don't happen in a particular place. So there are a lot of high rollers and business people. Like there were people there that were part of the NBA,
Sure.
the guy that owns the actual arena.
Yeah. Yeah.
All there.
Yeah.
All the mayor, like all there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, the former mayor.
The former mayor, yeah.
Mhm.
But here's the difference, and you know this because we work together.
Mhm.
I go back to how critical it is for
The bitch was basically there for eye candy purposes.
the male that you're working with, particularly when it's sort of independent and we are being seen and these sort of pictures come about. It's important to meet and know your husband. And I'm not saying he isn't a man of character because I don't know Anton, and I'm not here to vilify him. I'm just going based off how things look and what the concerns have been in the public.
I understand, but that's why I don't mind. That's why I don't mind talking about it because there's nothing nefarious that I ever had going on. And again, I never do anything unless my husband knows.
So your husband knew that you were going to this business meeting.
My husband knew that I was where I was.
No, that's not. Let's be very clear with language. So I want to be clear with my question. Did your husband know that after the show, the interview was over, you were going to a basketball, not a basketball, you were going to a meeting at an arena where a basketball game was?
I don't remember if I told him before or after, but I did tell my husband.
Okay, you told, but when you say you don't remember
Meaning
before
like-
or after,
meaning like
is
I
it
can't-
fair to say you told him after?
She said she don't remember if she told him before. she went to the spot or after she went to the spot. So that means she really didn't tell him. It's either that or she told him after, meaning he found out and she had to make up something on the spot. It's either one of the two.
No, it's not fair.
Because how do you not remember that?
Because I don't remember everything about the day.
No, but you're a married woman who goes, and I want to be fair to you, but I want
because to me, everything that I'm doing is business. So again,
but a married woman doesn't forget if she told her husband she went somewhere before or after.
No, you're trying to pinpoint a time frame, and I'm telling you, I don't remember my time frame.
No, not a time frame.
I tell my husband everything. So yes, I did, and I posted this. This is my picture.
Yes.
So again, if I was trying to hide it, if I didn't want my husband to know it, I would have never posted.
So you think
so interesting in love? I know this was the past, but now it's interesting. Why did you delete this photo off your Instagram, Micca? Since it ain't no big deal. Why did you delete? She probably, she's saying that she didn't remember if she said it before or after. I'm gonna lean towards the husband kind of found out and she kind of made up something on the spot, or really the husband didn't really know. Now, if we're taking it at face value, it's either she told him afterwards or the husband found out she had to make something up on the spot. I'm leaning towards she never really told him. And that's why now I think, especially since this interview is out, it's interesting. Because even after the Corey Holcomb situation, she still had her photos up with Anton. So it looks like after this interview, maybe the husband, because the guy in the interview, the guy in the interview, he knows her husband. Maybe the husband put him up to giving him all these questions so he can get the full answers. And now it's interesting. Ever since this interview came out, all of Anton Daniels' photos on here, it's been deleted. So Quinky dink, I don't know. Oh man, I'm starting to think that the husband, texted the interviewer and he was like, "Yo, ask her these questions real quick."
Posted it makes you innocuous.
No, I'm telling you that I don't hide anything. I have nothing to hide. And so if I wanted to hide something from my spouse, I would have never.
Let's look at the next picture. I thought the next picture was really, really interesting. And in this next picture,
why are you leaving that one? Why are you leaving that one?
What is there more you want to expound?
No, but it's something that you want to expound on, because
you said, "Well, I'm leaving that picture to go to the next one," because I felt like you gave clarity. What I heard you say was, it wasn't a basketball game I was invited to. Correct. I was invited to a business meeting.
Correct.
She tried to pull a reverse Uno. Good Lord.
I heard you say I went for an interview, and after the interview, I was asked and I accepted the offer. Okay. I heard you say that I apprised my husband, or you told your husband this is where you were going. You couldn't remember if it was before or after, but either way, your husband knew. And the final thing you said was you posted the picture.
Correct.
I have nothing further. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Next picture. I was flabbergasted by this picture.
Okay, tell me why.
Because there's no way my wife would be physically touching, leaning on.
Yeah, this photo is nowhere to be found on her Instagram anymore.
On a married man, leaning on a single man, leaning on another man in a way that suggests I'm feeling you, I like you. This is really some sort of.
Why do you think that says I'm feeling you?
Even if it doesn't say I'm feeling you, I don't want my wife.
Why do you think? Yeah. Why do you think that suggests that I'm feeling you? Because
okay, let's omit.
The reason why I'm asking you is I have tons of pictures of our former co-hosts.
Yep.
With the same lean, everything.
But here's the difference.
Hold on.
Yes.
And that person is also a male. All right. And we have a working relationship, and it's the same exact type of picture.
But here's the disrespect. This is a married man that you are physically leaning into.
I'm not leaning into.
That to me.
I'm not leaning into.
To me, and here's my perspective of it. There's a.
Yeah, you're leaning into broski.
That between it, but I'm looking at how you have a smile on your face. This is just my perspective. Your eyes look seductive. Just my perspective. And your arm is relaxed on his upper shoulder.
Correct.
And I would never imagine a married woman leaning on a business male partner that way. That to me is inappropriate.
Okay.
That's if you were my wife, I would have a serious problem. My problem would be so serious, you would have to probably extinguish your contract with him.
Okay.
Just because, and I would also feel a little uncomfortable that this gentleman obviously did not either push you away or suggest that we shouldn't take this type of picture. I've never met your husband. I fly you out here once or twice. This is this may not be the first time. So which point was this? Not that it matters if it was the third time, the fourth time.
This is the second time.
Oh, goodness. The second time?
This is the second time I'm out there. Not the second time I'm dealing with Anton.
Okay, so and it doesn't matter to me, but what's that gap between the first time you're there, he takes you to a business meeting at a basketball game, and you guys are sitting on the floor like you are
that we're working together? And it's not like that.
Well, that's not working
go back
together.
to what you just said.
Oh, is that
no,
working together?
go back to what you just said.
Which
it's
one?
not that. No, you said a couple.
Well, pick one.
No, you said sitting on the floor like you are a couple.
Yeah, listen, I'm not.
But you're interjecting your own thoughts.
I'm giving you my perspective.
But your perspective is after I told you. So to put something else there.
This is not making her look good, bro. I don't know whose it might have been her husband's idea. You never know. Might have been. I hope it wasn't her idea, because I'll say this: if it was her idea or her manager's idea, this was an epic fail. Because anybody that's watching this interview, she's getting roasted, and it's not even. These are not hard questions. These are not hard questions. But shout out to this brother right here for staying on topic, not falling for the antics. Shout out to this brother right here.
Okay, I see. That's fair. Okay, so but I think that's a fair point. I don't want to spin it. What I want to say is messaging, imagery is critical because imagery is messaging.
Correct.
And a lot of times on the Jumbotron at a game, we often see couples, whether you're high up or you're on the floor. A lot of times when people are on the floor, you see.
Do you sit at the game?
Do I sit at the game?
Correct.
Yes.
Do you sit at the game on the floor?
I have.
No. Do you all the time?
No.
Okay. All right. So who have you met at these games on the floor?
This is my show, not yours. I'm not answering questions.
Okay. And the reason
I come on your show so we can get into that.
However, the reason I asked you is to give perspective, right?
Yes.
Because what I found, because I'm usually in the skybox.
Yes.
When I'm here in DC, I'm in my box. I don't like to be down on the floor. That's not my thing.
Sure.
In the
Cap. But anyways,
on the floor, there are family members there. They are some of those people. A lot of them are like business seats.
Yep.
So anybody from these law firms, offices, are down there on the floor.
Yep.
That I've never known who sits down on the floor because I don't care and I don't sit there. Right. But by being there, I found out who was actually down there.
Oh, by the way, hold on. I just saw something real quick. Let me see this. So Ellis is here, said, if she's 5 foot or 5'2", no way Anton is calling Corey out for not being 6 foot. Did Anton say that? Did Anton really say that? By the way, I'm not trying to, OD measure, but I've met Corey Holcomb in person. He's at least, I don't know, maybe because he was wearing boots, but Corey's at least 6. When I saw him, he's 6'2". Corey's at least 6'2". Now, Anton, he's around, he cannot be no more than 5'8". He ain't no more than 5'8". So if Anton was out here trying to say if Corey's lying for being I've heard Corey Holcomb doesn't even talk about his height much on the show, but I remember somebody had outright asked him for his height. He said, "I'm exactly 6 feet tall." But I've met Corey Holcomb face like shook his hand and everything. He's 6'2", and it doesn't make it even better because Corey. I'm not saying he's obese, but he got some weight on him. He's been losing some weight, but he's the typical Gen X 6'2" dude with the gut. You know what I mean? Like you can tell back in the day he was an athlete, and then he probably let himself go a little bit. That's when you meet Corey Holcomb. That's exactly what it is. Now, let me see if I can find that picture again, because I know you're going off that picture. Let me see, 108, 105, 105. Let me see if we get a close up on the picture again. So we had 108.59. Here we go. Yeah. I think because I remember, I don't know, because Micca, she can't be no more than 5. She's no more than 5'1". No more than 5'1" or 5'2". So Anton in this pic, he's, like I said, 5'8", like 5'9" on a good day. Regular height on a good day. Anton, from what I've seen, and then other pictures of him, he looks 5'8", 5'7". Most likely without shoes, 5'8", right? Just off of from what I've seen from him. He's a short fat dude. You know what I mean? But anyways, I don't really see Anton as a fighter. You know what I mean? I can't imagine Anton being in a fight, and he just doesn't. He really looks like a guy that's never played sports. No disrespect. He said somebody said Futon looking 5'6" in that. Like I was about to say, he looks my height. I'm that picture like low key reminds me of like me back when I was like in high school. Like I remember one chick took a picture with me, kind of around that height. And she was a little bit tall. Like she was a little bit tall. She was at least 5'4", 5'5". So yeah. yeah. I'm gonna give him 5'8", 5'9" on a good day. Normal height, 5'9" on a good day. But if he was really going in, was he really going in on Corey's height? That's weird. Especially if he's 5'8", 5'9" himself. That's weird. He probably could be shorter than that. Because there's people, they can really mask their 5'6"ness really well. Like I remember when I was in college. I remember they had this one dude because they just had him listed at 5'8", 5'9". But then when we actually did the real measurements, I'm thinking I'm thinking I'm one of the smallest people on the team, and I kind of was, but I really wasn't. It was like 5 or 6 other dudes. One dude 5'3", but he got himself listed at 5'6". Another dude measured at 5'5". They gave him 5'6", but he on his high school thing they have him listed at 5'8". Right? They found out he's 5'6". I had myself listed. I was the only one that actually had the only thing that wasn't accurate about me was my weight. And that was because those few days I was there, I actually gained muscle weight. So that was the only thing that was wrong on the thing. I was the only one that didn't lie about my height. Everybody else that they said they was 6'2" and 6'3", they were actually 6 feet. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was like the goalies and the starting goalie, a couple of the wingers, and then me. It was only like 3 or 4 people where their height actually like their driver's license height or whatever their height, whatever they wrote down actually matched the measurements. I had myself 5'7", 140, but really I was 5'7", 150. I gained 10 pounds of muscle while I was during training camp. Everybody else was capping about their height. Oh man. But that's honestly natural. Most dudes are gonna lie up about their height. Women are gonna lie down. I remember one girl, she tried to pull a fast one. She was like, I'm 5'10". I'm like, oh, you 6 feet. And she was like, stop, don't say that. I'm like, ma'am, we know. Like if a woman is saying she's 5'10", she's probably 6 feet tall, probably even taller, you know. Like tall women, they're gonna lie and say that they're a little bit shorter. And then what happens is shorter women, they don't necessarily lie about their height, but what they do is they'll wear elevator shoes to make themselves seem taller, so they can say that I want a man of a certain height. But when it comes to actually writing down their height, they will still put their real height down sometimes. And then you'll have like the real short girls, like the girls that say that they're 5 feet tall. They're actually like 4'10", 4'9" maybe. I remember when I was working at Home Depot, they had these, because in Home Depot, they got these things where you can, actually measure people. And this one girl, she's like, Chris, I need you to measure me. I was like, okay. I try to keep it nice because she wanted to be 5 feet tall so bad. I was like, yeah. So you're 5 feet. Because I was just trying to be nice. Man, this ninja came out of nowhere, bro. Older married ninja came out of nowhere. He came out. He just like, man. He said, "Stop lying to that girl. You know she ain't no 5 feet." I was like, oh. Man, her face went beet red, bro. Beet red. Those girls around that 4'10", 4'11-ish, they're gonna just say I'm 5 feet tall, but they're like 4'9". They're like 4'9". Oh man, that was back in the good old days. That was funny though. That was funny. I was trying so hard as possible to be nice. I was like, yeah, you're you 5 feet. But the actuality, she was like, she could pass. She could pass as 4'9", to be honest with you, because she was like a mixture. She was a mixture of like Filipino and like Hispanic. Like I don't know which Hispanic country. Like she was like a mix of Filipino and like Puerto Rican, basically. She was like a mixture of those. So you already know. She said like both of her parents was like 5'2". And then she said like her mom is like basically as small as her. Her dad is like 5'2" on a good day. Right. So it is what it is. But her boyfriend at the time, was like 5'5" or 5'6". Right. So she wasn't like one of those like heightest per se. Because basically anybody that's standing next to her is gonna basically hulk over her. Even if you're like 5'4", you like if you were a guy that was like 5'4", you're gonna hulk over her. That's how small she was. She was very small. Pyro said he knew Chris. He said he had to call you. He popped, dude. This dude popped out of nowhere. He said, "Why you lied to this?" He said, "This girl only. You already know she ain't no 5 feet." He said she wishes she was 5 feet tall. I was like, damn. SOV 724 says I'm getting older, so I might be shrinking. Yeah, when you get older, you just naturally, when you get a particular age, like really not necessarily your 50s, but like I believe like around your when you're around your 60s, you start to shrink a little bit. Really around your 50s, honestly, but it depends on what kind of shape you are. And that's so I'm already that's low-key bad news for me, because I'm barely like I said, I'm 5'7". I can pass off as a little bit taller. For some reason, like people see my pictures, they always think I'm like way taller than I am. I'm like, guys, I'm 5'7". I promise you. I can pass off as taller, but no, I only pass off as taller when I play sports. That's the only time. Like when I play soccer, or maybe because people be lying about their height. So maybe that's what it is, because everybody's wearing the same type of studs. They're wearing cleats or whatever. But so when I get like in my 50s, if I don't stay in shape, I'm gonna be real small. So this is probably gonna be a time where I'm really gonna have to start putting weight on me, like real, like actual, like, because like my dad, he actually has like he lifts, right? So he can kind of stay that size for a while until things start to slow down for him. Like he like my dad, he doesn't eat meat anymore. He eats only fish. But I guess that's the best way to kind of like stay in that same frame or shape. But eventually I'm gonna have to start putting weight on me, or I'm gonna shrink. Oh man.
Here, and I don't sit there, right? But by being there, I found out who was actually down there, family members, business partners, all of that. That's hold on. Yes. So again, I'm not disputing your perspective as far as people that don't know, right? That's fair. But when you are in that world, and you are in the know, and you know more than just the I would say the popular culture of who might sit down there, right? Because you might see your favorite rapper, things like that. But all those people that are sitting beside the rapper, you absolutely don't know why they're there.
But two married people shouldn't be sitting together without their spouses.
No. Now, see, and here we are again with you going back to something that's not, because you are essentially saying that I cannot do any business dealings with somebody that is in business because that person is married.
No, what I'm saying, no. What I'm saying
No.
is somebody who's never met your husband.
No. That's not what he said. That's not what he said. Let's go back. Let's rewind that. I hope he caught that. Here we go.
In business because that person is married.
No, what I'm saying is somebody who's never met your husband.
Because if I go out
Exactly. That's what he's saying. Because the optics look wrong. He's never met your husband, but he's sitting next to you, and y'all putting pictures out there together. That's crazy work.
go out with you or anybody
and
else.
I met your husband.
Okay, but
the former host has met your husband.
But we've already talked about that.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is, you're saying because you don't know when you're looking at that picture. You don't know if you met him or not.
I know he hasn't met your husband. When I looked at that picture, and maybe because I have inside knowledge.
Yeah, that's why. So my point is, you don't know.
But I don't have to know. So that's inappropriate.
But you already admitted that he's never met. So what are you even arguing about?
Let me say this. And maybe you just don't see it. You can't see how this could be construed.
That's not what I said.
Okay, so do you see this as being inappropriate?
We just talked about what it can look like imagery.
So let me ask you, forget the imagery. Is this inappropriate to you?
From my perspective, it wasn't, because that's not what I was doing. But I told you, I can understand why people might have thought that, but I literally did not have anything going on or anything. Like, there's nothing inappropriate going on. So
I did not have sexual relations with this woman. I can categorically say.
He's just leaning didn't seem like an issue to me.
Okay, so here's some hard questions I really, really need to ask you. First one is, it may not be as hard, but here it is. Are you going to continue working with Anton?
Well, I do not. Well, I have not been on after hours since the whole incident happened.
That's not answering my question.
I'm not finished.
Okay.
So I haven't been on after hours since the incident happened. And I felt that, there were a lot of things that.
She got so tight. That's so funny to me. But anyways.
I did not like about everything that went on. So with that, I decided to pull away from the show. So no, I am not.
Is that a permanent termination?
I am not.
Permanent termination?
Yes. I was only doing one show.
Okay, so you're no longer.
Yeah. And now this is basically confirmed, because if you go on her Instagram, like I said, let me do a refresh. I don't know, maybe my computer's bugging out, but I don't see no pics. I don't see no pics, no reels of her and Anton. It's wild to me. No Anton pics at all. And her Instagram used to be littered with her and her content with Anton. So this is some interesting stuff. Oh, my bad. Hold on.
Another very challenging question, but I have to ask you. I just have to ask you. Have you and Anton ever had sex?
No.
Any?
Hold on.
Uh-oh, she gonna show out. She gonna show out and start capping. Here we go.
I just have to ask you. Have you and Anton ever had sex?
No.
Any?
Hold on. No.
Okay. Any sexual relations?
No. It's always been strictly professional. And that's.
And you could be professionally sexual.
Oh, I would know.
Well,
so again, it's always been strictly professional. Like I said, Anton has a persona online.
Okay.
I
get his persona online, but personally, Anton hasn't done that to me.
Okay. What happened between him and Corey Holcomb? Because the 5150 show, from what we all saw.
I just want to rewind. I just want to see. I just want to see everything. She said no to. Remember the R. Kelly interview? Remember that R. Kelly interview? With Gayle King. So did you ever know? No. No. He said that way too fast. Oh my God, man. This is I want to rewind this. Her body language. I'm sorry. Too much lying, man. Anyways.
I did not like about everything that went on. So with that, I decided to pull away from the show. So no, I am not.
Is that a permanent termination?
I am not.
Permanent termination?
Yes. I was only doing one show.
Okay, so you're no longer a part of it. Here's another very challenging question, but I have to ask you. I just have to ask you. Have you and Anton ever had sex?
No. No.
Any?
Hold on. No.
Okay. Any sexual
No,
relations?
no. It's always been strictly professional. And
And
that's,
you could be professionally sexual.
oh, I would know.
Well, that's
So
what I'm
again,
saying.
it's always been strictly professional. Strictly professional. Like I said, Anton has a persona online.
Yeah, I don't know. People might not be able to see it, but she's sweating out her makeup, bro. She's sweating out her makeup. I can see it from here. But you already know I got the clip for this.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop you fucking lying.
Oh man. Oh yeah, use your that I'm sorry, that R. Kelly video with the Gayle King interview, that's some of the funniest stuff I've seen in my life. And look, I think he got done wrong. In my opinion, I think he got done wrong. But that interview was too funny. I'm sorry. Then it just said, "How can I pay child support? How? When my ex-wife is ruining my name, how can I work? How can I get paid? How?" Oh man, yeah, I'm sorry. That was funny. That was that in that whole interview. I gotta keep it a buck, man. They had me crying laughing. He said Cat Williams is carrying stand up right now. I saw him in Jersey recently. Oh yeah, Cat Williams. He's a monster, man. He's a monster. XVY Jay-Z says, "Did you see these House of Myers?" Oh no, that's old. That's old. That's old. Let me see. XVYJC says, "Is this guy famous or something? Because I've never seen a woman get grilled without catching an attitude." Oh, hey, they don't hire guys like that. And I say that respectfully, like guys like he's gonna like because he has his own YouTube channel, but notice he only has what 3.5 thousand subscribers. Like guys like that, because they want him. What they want guys like him. Talk perspective, guys like that, they want him to grill they want him to grill like ninjas. Like, so if Floyd Mayweather came in, they want him to grill people like that, right? But got like guys like that, or they want him to grill like Orange Man. They want him to grill Orange Man. They want him to grill the easy targets, right? But say if the saxophone player's wife, right? If she were to have an interview, they can't afford the saxophone player's wife to be grilled like that, right? They can't afford, or just women in general to be grilled like they're not. They're like, nope, this is not what we're trying to. We're not trying to push that here. Or if he's grilling Elon Musk, right? Like I said, the easy targets. That's what they want him to do. So guys like him, he's gonna have trouble. But shout out to I like his channel. You know, I like his channel. Talk perspective, man. He be asking some good questions, man. Yeah, it says it's called hiding in plain sight. Yep, exactly. When it comes to the cheating. Somebody said you got a box for the wizard. Stop the cat. Oh yeah, I'm only in the skybox, please. Anyways, let me look. Oh yeah, she said I'm not finished. I saw that too. I'm not finished. She pulled the Tyler the Creator thing on him. Yep, he's holding her feet to the fire. Garrett Grant said that's pure cap. Yeah, use your common sense. That R. Kelly thing, that was funny. I'm shocked at myself that I don't really have that as a soundbite yet, but it should be coming. Cold Approach said my first college girl was from DC. She went to Benjamin Cardozo. Whoa, that sounds familiar. Let me search that up. Oh, you talking about The law school? Oh, you talking about, let me see, Washington, D.C., Washington, Cardozo. Talking about the law school, or let me see, hold on, college. But anyways, I'll leave that alone. Let me see. She said it too many times. Yeah, she said it 3 times. Yeah, y'all killing me, man. They said, oh, she was from so she was from DC, but then I guess she went to Benjamin Cardozo High School. Because they're saying that Cardozo's a high school. Let me see, Cardozo High School. Well, they're saying that's in let me see. They're saying that's in New York. They said that there's a Benjamin Cardozo Law School in New York. And then let me see, Washington, D.C. See this, President Cardozo. Because there's a Cardozo Law School in New York. I've heard of that. Let me see. Adam Adu says is that her normal jawline or just when she's lying? She probably I don't know. I don't know. She's probably had work done in general. She's probably had some work done. I definitely don't doubt she's probably definitely had some work done. I'll say this because I got the Corey Holcomb show on standby. I'm shocked it hasn't started yet. Oh yeah, and by the way, shout out to Corey Holcomb though. Last episode, he did talk about how nobody was brave enough to talk about Harvey Levin being in the Epstein files. So, hey man, I was like, finally somebody told him. I was like, thank God. I'm like, how y'all gonna hide that from this brother? But anyways, he might get. I hope TMZ because TMZ they're probably gonna have to owe him some settlement money later on. But anyways,
okay.
I get his persona online, but personally, Anton hasn't done that to me.
Okay. What happened between him and Corey Holcomb? Because the 5150 show, from what we all saw, you were there with Anton, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see you, but clearly Corey said your name. And I even saw a video that he said Micca can come and do the show. She could come here. I would love for her to come. What happened that was not visible to the public that you can share? Like, we saw a lot, but was there anything behind the scenes were the guy?
I don't know. I don't know if Corey will mend fences with the lead attorney. Because like I said, that was at the end of the day, that's between 2 attorneys. You know what I mean? that's between two attorneys. Clearly, whoever Corey hired, they're not on the same page. And at the end of the day, also, I will say this. If you're really a fan, if it was that important, I would have be like, let me get in contact with Corey, because there's been plenty of times where Corey Holcomb will say a statement, and then so you could tell somebody gave Corey a call, and then he comes out on the next show is like, look, I was tripping last episode, you know. So Lee could have gave Corey a call and be like, look, this is what your attorney said. You know what I mean? Now, it'll be another thing if the lead could not get a hold of attorney. Sorry, if Lee couldn't get a hold of Corey. But at the end of the day, that's when it comes to legal matters. I'm not gonna OD take the word of an attorney. Clearly, there was a miscommunication. Clearly, because even when the information that the lead attorney was given out there, even outside of the fake okay he may have gotten from Corey's lawyer, he was giving out a little bit. He was saying a little bit too much. Where I'm like, bro, you giving the outline to take down Corey Holcomb. I'm like, I ain't feeling that. Outside of just the inside info that he thought he got, I thought he was saying a lot of things that was a little bit out of pocket. And Corey Holcomb also said that as well. So it wasn't just that situation where, okay, you can't speak on this. It was other things as well. But that should be between lead attorney and Corey's attorney. So we'll see how Corey handles that. Like me personally, even though the lead attorney was on the show, I don't. When it comes to attorneys, I got to be like, I'm like, it's an attorney. Even the person that Corey hired, I'm literally like, I don't know if that's your guy. At the end of the day, when it comes to law, you need to hire the best, or you need to hire somebody with the right connects, which is usually the best people, right? I'm gonna get one of them small hats. I'm gonna go like, say if I get in some serious trouble one day, or how about this? Say if somebody put some real slander on my name, I'm gonna go through my high school. I'm gonna go through my yearbook, and I'm gonna see who I can get. I'm gonna see, okay, who has a law firm right now, and I'm gonna be like, hey, remember me from blah blah blah? Help me out here. Help a brother out here. I got my YouTube channel. We can collaborate. Let's make this a long-term collaboration type deal. That's what I would do. Because my reputation is good enough in high school where it's like, where niggas will be like, well, sorry, not ninjas, but the people over there, they'll be like, Chris was a decent dude. Just help him out with this. I feel like I'd get a pass. But anyways, that's who I'm gonna get one of them small hats to help me out. There's a place for everybody, bro.
I was agitated initially. I remember, I think I saw something where you said that it was actually on your own show. You said, hey, Corey shook my hand. I met him and he knew I was there. What happened?
Oh, so she's talking about, so now they're talking about the incident that happened on the show with Corey and Anton Daniels. Uh-oh. She needed that water after doing all that lying. But anyways.
Okay, so we got to the studio.
Her mouth was dry. All that lying, all that capping.
And
let's back up a little.
Okay.
Again, here's another invitation, correct? It's another invitation from Anton. An invitation.
No. Well, no.
Corey, did Corey invite you?
No. So this is how this rolled out.
Sure.
So she already put that out there that Anton had told her that she was going to be on the show, but Anton was capping. He was selling her dream. So when she got to the studio, Anton thought that he could just put her on the show without letting Corey know. And Corey basically X'd that out. He's like, no, you didn't tell me. That's not how we do things over here. So she already put that out there through Anton Daniels, smooth under the bus. But anyways,
Anton decided to put together a podcast tour that he was going to do, and that he's still on, actually, that he was going to go to different locations. Cool. I am the only person on Anton's program that is an actual content creator, not a panelist, not a guest. I'm an actual content creator. So
why are you the only one?
Because I'm the only one that wants to do content outside of Anton.
Are you the only beautiful one on his team?
That's subjective. But there's other pretty women there. But whatever you think, that's what you think. But there's other women.
Do you think you look better than his wife?
No, I'm not going to answer that question.
No, I mean, again, these are things that were sent to me. People say, can you please ask her how she feels? Why
would I answer that? Why would I subject another woman to answering something that is absolutely insane?
But fair enough. Go ahead.
And it's disrespectful.
And that picture was disrespectful.
But she was there.
She was there at the second one?
Yes.
The second picture?
Yes.
Did she take the picture of you leaving her husband?
I sent you the video. Play that.
I'll show that video when she was sitting on his lap.
And what were we doing in the video?
I think I saw you in the back, and maybe y'all were doing a show or something.
Yeah, we were doing after hour show.
And he told his wife to come on over and sit down. But I think you're using
no.
That isolated.
No, it's not isolated. That was the entire day. So
no, I mean isolated your history with him.
No, okay. That the only one that she hasn't that she wasn't at was the first one at the game. Outside of that, Rita is there. Now, I'm not in charge of her schedule.
And that's even scarier.
She's there most of the time. Which
I just think it's scary if a wife, but I don't know her.
She does a lot of the business dealing. She does the emails. She does the scheduling because she actually scheduled my flight.
Sure.
She does those. So Anton is not the person that actually does it. He has an assistant, but a lot of the times his wife does it.
Yeah. And you do have husband-wife business partners. Yeah.
Tons of them.
Yeah. And sometimes those individuals, wife or husband, can be accepting of different arrangements.
Okay, but what does that have to do with me? My arrangement is business and personal.
Right. That's
It's
what
not
I mean.
personal.
That's what I mean. That arrangement. Yeah.
So no, it's not an arrangement. It's an actual business.
No, it's an arrangement
words
by
matter.
a contract.
Yeah, Micca's tight. She's so tight right now.
Words matter.
Yeah.
And the
I'm very
concept-
fastidious when it comes
yeah,
to
I know.
words.
And you're also a fast talker. So I pick up on it.
That's
You fast, but I listen.
Sure.
However, no, she
Cap.
does a lot of the booking, so she knows who's coming in and out and things like that. But like I said, that last one that we were just talking about, she was there the entire time. That's why in the video I sent you, she just came on in. She'd been sitting there the entire day.
Okay, going back to Corey. So you were there, you arrived, and the show starts.
He said, this show ain't got no cue cards. Oh, man. Yeah, exactly. When right when they were going to start talking about Corey Holcomb, man, she ran her mouth so much she needed water. That's how you know somebody capping. Somebody said can't cook up a lie without water. He said game over, man.
No.
Well, let's get past everything else and just get to the crux of it.
Okay.
What do you think really sets off either?
Let me see.
In the video I sent you, she just came on in. She'd been sitting there the entire day.
Okay, going back to Corey. So you were there, you arrived, and the show starts.
No.
Well, let's get past everything else and just get to the crux of it.
Okay.
What do you think really set off either Corey or Anton?
At what part?
At any part. You were there, so you may have witnessed or have seen characteristics that could have been combustible
I
and
think
sort
both
of
of them.
inflamed them.
I think both of them set each other off because you have two men that are good at what they do. Two men that are trying to get their point of view across as what is the best view.
Sure.
And they don't not only not agree on political things, they don't agree on certain values.
But what's the issue? Because it
So
seems like
they're-
Corey doesn't like that Anton allegedly espouses white America's thinking, or he minimizes black people, or his role as a conservative prowess, if you will, seems to
Okay, that's enough. So now they're gonna just go into what happened on the Corey's Holcomb situation.
mean and diminish the light of black Americans. And Corey is perturbed and turned off by that. And Corey, therefore, or maybe Anton sort of thing.
See.
But I also think
But
Anton had a right to say what he said, going on the show, will you go?
Am I going on his
Corey's
show?
show,
No, not to my knowledge.
But I think publicly he said Micca could come. If Corey invited you to 50-51, will you show up?
Probably not.
He said 50-51.
And the reason why I say that is the same way, I can accept
What truth do you want people to walk away with? And what more do you want to say about all of what we discussed today? Anton.
All right. That's enough though for today. 5150 show just started. I think I covered enough of the interview. She said she's a capologist. Micca is a capologist. I agree. But man, yeah, that's enough for today. You already hear the music. About to tune in to 5150 real quick. So we're going to leave off with an outro video. Shout out to you guys, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Because that was the end of the interview. I showed you that's the whole interview right there. So shout out to you guys, man. I am signing off with this one right here. Peace in Black Power.
Exactly.
I was with Floyd Mayweather. When I met him, I couldn't believe it. Floyd was like, hey, what's up, man? This my fiance, this my girl. They was both standing right there. That's what paper do, boy. You got that paper, people fall in line.
I don't care for that.
Now, it's a shame that people fall in line because of the paper, but this is a fact. If you got that paper, you can bring your whole family to the barbecue. Not the family you had. I'm talking about if you got that bread, you can bring everybody to the barbecue and demand they act like they got some goddamn sense. That's my boy about her. That's my boy about him.